It's bad.
Well, it's kind of bad. I don't like it. I'm annoyed, but it's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? Faces says your weapon got nerfed. Grin. Faces or Fluffs here. Lone sitting against you. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? We'll finally tune into the chat and get corrupted, which I already did by looking at Fluff's comments. But those guys you did not see. Just so this is a little relevant even for people who are watching in past broadcasts. Essentially, there was a big old patch that nerfed, rebalanced, and retooled a lot of things. One of the things that was nerfed is my frost stop. My frost stop got hit to the point in which we'll talk about it. But there was also some other stuff that got nerfed, and also some stuff that got tweaked and fixed. Arcane is now seemingly meta, or just really good. It doesn't really seem to have much of a negative, if any, besides the fact that you have to close the distance, and even then there's certain daggers and whatnot that can help you circumnavigate that. So, just to say the least, really good options now. Anyways, Arcane basically affected your blood. So your weapons that affected bleed, Arcane was supposed to scale up their damage. I always thought that bleed weapons seemed like they did a lot anyway, but that's just me being crazy. Anyways, but it is stupid that Arcane was kind of a useless stat because it wasn't scaling up weapons. That I can agree with. But what else? Also, they kind of nerfed the Mimic in terms of it being like hella efficient, meaning basically a quick fix for the Mimic. You just take off whatever weapon you have in your offhand when you summon him, and he's basically gonna be good. But the Mimic will now basically just a melee attack when you're like fully built into mage, which to me, okay, so this is the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and this is kind of the core of my frustration a little bit. I think there's a lot of stuff that makes sense with the patch, and that's great. And I'm also not the kind of player, I guess, that FromSoft is even remotely interested in like accounting for, I think. Just because these games are built to be challenge specific, to where if you're not willing to chew through the challenge, you should just walk away. With slight pivots of reason. You can kind of hard maximize your leveling system in order to get to a certain place and all that stuff. But in order to do that, in order to get the really quick, get a lot of levels quick, you need to kill the first two bosses, which some were saying is too much for me, and etc. Because the base farm is going to be rough. Anyways, but the core essence of, to me, my only frustration with the patch is I don't mind things being lowered when it comes to damage. What I dislike is when things feel more clunky after the patch. So I would have been fine if they just neutered, and I'm talking like gutted, Frost Stomp. Because it applies a useful element, and that's awesome. It applies cryo will debuff, all that stuff. Also, it can build and stack and then pop, which is good. All that stuff is fine. Also, it just stagger locks people, so if you're playing a mage, if you were to stomp, backpedal, and then start casting, it still would have had a place, and it takes such a little bit of mana that it kind of would have fit that kind of utility passive ability better. But instead, they nerfed its damage a little bit, but the thing that I hate about what they did is they basically gave it a longer cast time, to where you're sitting there, and you're like hitting the ground, and then your character's like stuck in putty for 2 seconds. And maybe that makes sense, but it just feels, especially if you've ever used Frost Stomp, it feels clunky. It feels like they just made something work less mechanically fun. It doesn't even seem like Frost Stomp is significantly reduced, but it's not like you can't empower that thing in a whole different way. There's certain spells that when you cast and you stand in it and you smash the ground will amplify your base damage. There's also ways to scale up the Frost Stomp's damage in different ways, which I'll show you guys in this part, because this is kind of just us talking about the patch, as well as farming for a spell that I thought would be good for my faith build, until I realized it was a sorcery, and also until I realized it would kill me. So yeah, but still might be good for my faith build, probably not. Anyways. But yes, so I'm pretty game for most of the patches and nerfs. I will say it to me that I did like the idea that there was a way to like hyper stack your advantage, and now it does seem like all it does is make the process longer. So if you want to have an easier time with the game, you got to spend more time grinding souls. You need to do that. Whereas it wasn't as simple as go get this thing early, get this, you need to be good to go, and then bang, fire off. You know what I mean? But as far as one thing that Fluff was saying was, it's not as bad as everyone else has been saying. I think that is how do I put it? That's a disregard for other people's experience a little bit, because to you, like for people, okay, let me put it this way. The last thing that I thought needed a rework is sorceries. The last thing that I thought was completely unviable was bleed, okay? Now, maybe when you get super duper into endgame, bleed is not doing anything because it doesn't proc, or bosses basically ignore it because you're not doing enough bleed build up. That's fair. But that's not where I think people were having frustrations with. Now, one thing I'd be remiss to not talk about, which is relevant, basically the other argument or perspective, not argument, perspective of this is, why are they nerfing things? This is like, we're just fighting bosses, and why should it matter to you whether I make a boss easier for me to kill? Your experience is yours. Why does mine have to be the same as yours? But then there's the other argument, which is the thing that kind of counters this, and this is the thing that I kind of hate to some extent, but it's the same thing that we dealt with in Destiny, if you've ever played that game. But it's basically that this game, in some ways, is a PvP game. I think if you were to look at the percentage of players that actually play the game PvP, it would be probably like 20%, maybe. And as the game goes on longer, it becomes a bigger percentage, I would assume, of the player base. But regardless, because there's a PvP element, there becomes not a PvE argument anymore. Because the things that are overpowered in PvP, or PvE, become redundant, become way too powerful in PvP. So if you have something that's good in PvE, it becomes way too powerful in PvP. It can destroy everything. Now, Frostdawn was in this weird category where you kind of just run around it and it was kind of fine, but people could still spam it and catch you, which is bad. But yes. What was the other thing I wanted to say? I knew I should have said it as soon as I thought of it. I was trying to wrap up my thought before I got to this. PvP. The one thing, again, like I mentioned with Froststomp, how they increase the cast time of it, which makes me just frustrated. Again, I'd rather them just neuter it. At least you let me make it useful for what it was supposed to be useful for, which it has a super AoE, it weakens enemies, which because it applies cryo, all these things. Also, there's cryo sets that can buff your cryo damage, so there's a way to kind of climb back and get the damage that you were kind of used to, if you're willing to fully invest, which is something we'll talk about later down the line. But yes. But, I fucking lost the thing I was about to say again because I went on a tangent. PvP. Clunkiness. So one thing that I also don't like about the patch is I agree that there were some things that were egregious because they were interacting with PvP in a horrible way. So for instance, people were using this thing where they immolate themselves and then they activate a bleed proc, and then the fire dot around them would start applying bleed every second. So it doesn't even matter if you were doing 10% bleed buildup, because it was just detonating 1,000 times in seconds, and it would just rip people's health bars away. And whenever you detonate a bleed, it takes a percentage of the overall health, not a set amount. So if there was a boss with 1,000,000 damage, if you're doing 5% of his health every couple seconds, because it's detonating that bleed proc, then it's just going to kill him in a couple seconds. And the same could be said for when you were playing multiplayer. All a person would have to do is block or just survive long enough to where, or maybe you could do a range thing, but even then probably not, because it could just run to you. Anyways. But, the one thing that I don't like that they patched was things that seemed like a really, really clever use for the ways things are supposed to intrinsically work together. So for instance, there was a shield within the game that when you held it out and it hit something, I think it was either got hit with elemental damage or self-damage or damage or whatever, it would basically throw a little tiny ball of light at an enemy or at anything in front of you. And of course, we just talked about it, the thing that basically turns you on fire, you take self-damage, but it also hits the shield, and made a bunch of little tiny tethers of light that ran off your shield and started killing enemies. Now, I think it would have been, to me, this is the thing. If they were to reduce the damage significantly to where it wasn't melting bosses, maybe they slowed down the projectile, or they made it so that the projectile didn't heat seek at all, something like that. Because that synergy to me was mechanically interesting and fun. It was using two things power, the two things negatives together to make them even more of a positive, which to me is a brilliant idea. But the idea that they basically just took it out altogether, that to me is a shame. I would have rather them scale back the damage heavily on the little blip, but still kept it viable. That way it was something that you could still use and synergize with. So that's what I mean by when I say they nerfed things in a way that gave it more clunk, rather than just saying, okay, this is hitting a little too hot, let's pull it back a little bit. Still viable, but just let's not bust the entire game over your knee. So that's stuff I don't like. That's stuff that, to me, I think is a genuine criticism for the patch. One thing that I am hoping, I'm not sure if I'm able to pull this off, but I would like to reclaim the power of Froststomp, if it's possible. And let me show you guys kind of what I mean by that. Yes, in this video. Essentially, there's ways to synthetically buff the ever-living shit out of your damage. And also, you'll have roaming capacity to do that. Now, whether these things get patched... Okay. Oh, wait. One more thing. Pause. Hey, look at me. One more thing. This is my first initial feeling of this whole thing. And then I'll look at chat. Forgive me. I just wanted to talk you guys' ear off about these things I've been thinking about all day, unfortunately. But this... And this is kind of, it falls apart because there is a PvP element, but let's talk about it anyway. Okay, so the same feeling that I felt in Borderlands when things were getting nerfed is the same feeling I felt in Elden Ring. And that's because, and it kind of dawned on me, but a lot of the things that was pulling me through the game was the reward for greater power or usefulness or utility. So it was an item. It was an item that could set my build on fire. It was a piece of something that looked so cool that I had to have it. Or did something so fun that I was like, oh, this could be manipulated and be goofy and holy shit. A spell that looked dope, that kind of thing. And the problem that I find is as soon as the nerfs went out, I went in game, I checked to see how it was, I frost stomped something, and I thought, oh my god, it's doing like an eighth. It's doing like I might as well just go up and melee things a ton. But even then, melee didn't really have a good damage window. Also, I already invested in making the things that I worked not hard to get because I'm more the things that Frost Stomp was good, but then I had a bunch of key change and shit that made it better. But regardless, I still invested in getting those keychains, killing those bosses, getting those armors, getting those things, to where I basically invested a lot into making this good, or if not better. And now, with them nerfing stuff, and I don't know what their capacity is. They haven't talked and said, hey, this is where we're feeling about where everything's at. So it creates this unsettledness, at least for me, where I don't know if I want to go and get an item. Oh, that build's really powerful? Well, they could nerf it tomorrow. Like to me, that's the fuckiness of any game that has builds or anything like that. When you start nerfing things, it to me creates this uneasiness within the community. And if you're not feeling that, you're like, GRINN, there's not these bad things. Imagine if your favorite spell, if your favorite build that you worked tirelessly to get, like this flask that gave you unlimited mana, or this hat that gave you a bunch of damage, if it was just not working as well, if it was completely shattered and boss fights became exponentially harder from where you were used to, you'd feel the same way about being like, well, shit, I mean, and maybe you love the mechanics of the game and you're like, fuck it, I don't care, you can nerf everything, I just like existing in the world. Sure. I don't know if that's the majority of the player base. So there's that weirdness with the in-game thing that I think is a genuine problem. Is how do you, because if they nerf this and then people talk about like, oh my god, this blood katana is like ripping up everything. I can only imagine people who have been Frost Stompers who jump to that are going to be like, is it worth it, man? Is it worth it going in here and fighting this boss to get this stupid katana? Huh? You gonna patch it immediately? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like it creates this unsettledness about like, ooh, piece of candy that's like super powerful, fun, interesting something, and this medallion that's actually pretty good and worth a damn, giving me an advantage. You get it, and then it gets nerfed, and you feel this feeling of like, well, is it really worth me going to do anything? Like the only thing that's forever is me just power leveling like fucking mad, and getting my character level 200 or something, and doing that. So yeah. But anyways, everything aside, I'm not too depressed. Again, so this is something I was thinking about the whole day. I am trying to find a way to save the previous video. So yeah, that's something that like, so for me, we just made a video, by the way, quick pause. I am so fucking proud and happy. And that's why this also hurts so much. Like, this is my like soothe the diversion of me having thought about this all day. When the patch first happened and I got in and I did Frost Stomp, the reason why it was so painful to me when I seen that is because I just talked the previous day, literally the previous day. I talked for 3 hours straight, and I thought I did a great job about explaining like, this is what you do, this is why you do it, here's future questions. And because now we don't do enough damage, the video's not bricked, which is the thing. All you need to do is power level more, probably put more points into intelligence, and then just heavily lean on rock sling more than anything. But yeah. Regardless, that's the weird nonsense of my emotions where I got in there and I thought, this video that I loved. I was happy. We did it. We carved a path forward for people who are not gifted or even remotely wanting to participate in the Nightmare Hard challenge. They just wanted to experience this beautiful, wonderful world. And then boom, gone. Or at least not gone again. But I'm trying to figure out, like, is there an early game spell that could equivalent to power just in the same way, essentially? Like, could it be good enough to where you could actually be good and make a good effort and all that stuff? And I think I don't know, it could just be level up to this amount and just put every point you could possibly have into glintstone pebble, or like, sorry, intelligence and mind, and then I'll show you how to get like an unkillable summon him at the beginning of the Galdric fight, not Galdric, sorry, Margit fight, and then just back up and just glintstone pebble him to death. Sure, and then just do that until I can finally in part 2 show you where the hell to get certain spells that are actually worth a damn. But a lot of the spells that are worth a damn are unlocked, of course, when you beat Morgott in the Faith City and get to the mountains. But I don't know, I also will need you guys who are like mage people. Is there any spell that doesn't cost a lot but hits hard, that's also not like the worst to attain? I don't know. I was trying to look on it on the Wikipedia, but the Wikipedia, I can try to Google, like YouTube it too, of like, what's a good spell that doesn't just cost, like, 'cause all the fucking YouTube videos are like, how to instantly eviscerate someone with a laser beam. And there's like 8 versions of that. And I'm like, I just want to know what is like a beginner spell that I can cast a lot of, that doesn't just chew through my AP, and that delivers me a good enough thing, you know? Also, let me pause the game because I would like to move my chat so I can read what you guys have been saying. Okay, let me catch up, give you guys a voice. Forgive me, I just want to chat about you guys with that. Let me see. Weapons got Nerf. My Grin says, my Grin, my friend, how are you? A little depressed. A little depressed. Faceless, he already knows. Honestly, he's bad as people are making it out to be. I don't know if that's fair, though, Fluff. When you say it's not as bad as people are making it out to be, sure. I mean, people can always be hella exaggerative. I don't know what people you have been hearing have said it or said about it. But I also think if you put yourself in the same shoes as if they took away the ability to get unlimited AP from the potion, that kind of thing. If they took away the staff that gave you a lot of damage, and you earned all of that, or at least you felt like you earned all of it. Some would say you could just go get a frost stomp from a quick early place and be done with it. But anyways, say you earned those things and then they took them away from you. Well, you might be different again, but if you were to go to another location to want to grab the next thing, or would you kind of be like, I mean, I guess I'll wait a couple weeks to see what they nerf and what they are okay with, and then I'll choose whatever to me is the most exciting way to play. But maybe some people are like, no, I play specifically to have like the hardest time imaginable. But considering I've seen you with a build that can beam down enemies and whatnot, and you work towards building that, I would say you probably want a little bit of both. You want to have some challenge, but you also wouldn't mind having a really, really strong build that nukes things, right? But in order for you to say, like, I think people are overreacting, maybe like put yourself in a situation where the build that you honed perfectly, got abilities, like charms, all of these skills to attain, perfectly craft your build and invest in the right things, and then it gets nerfed and you're like, great, now I gotta get a respec, now I gotta go do these things. It's at the very least, it's like, come on, man, now I gotta go reallocate everything, like, what are we doing? Well, also, what if I change my tact again and then they nerf that as well? So yeah, that's the problem with nerfing. I agree with the PvP things. I agree that, like, but also I think there's a world where if you entered a PvP zone, they would just cut the damage in like a quarter and make it basically worth nothing, you know? Wish they would buff Faith, like, so. Yeah, see, that was the other thing, Faith, that I heard a lot, is like people were saying Blood was good. Sorceries have been nuts since the get-go, and those were the first thing that they rebalanced. When fucking a shit ton of like the end game hard to get Faith skills are shit. Are shit. That's like, what? Why was this the priority? What? Fluff says, I can figure Faith will scale balance pass with next patch. I hope so, Fluff. I heard you saying that above. Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, it wasn't even touched. Otherwise, it wasn't even touched, and regardless of strength and faith. So you're see no notable changes unless you're using arcane, which probably scale a few significant weapons work as intended. Yeah. The arcane got fixed, so a lot of weapons that scaled with arcane / bleed, whatever, are now much better. Now imagine sorceries may be in that same category, but we'll see. Unless you are your Faithful says, only thing I feel about sorceries was already good. You will see more sorcery bleed builds. Yeah, people will take what the two parts of both and meld them together. Fluff says sorceries had a few viable options. Now they'll simply be more variety. Some saw more damage, a couple more range, a lot of others more FP cost reduction. It fixes the problem where most of the Glintstone Pebble because it lowers the cost of scaling pretty high in regards to damage, whilst being one of the most boring spells looking at otherwise. Wait, so did they increase Glintstone Pebble's damage or cost? Faces says they need to do that with faith spells and beast spells, a few lightning spells. Yeah, no, man, that'd be awesome. Beast spells would be great. I'd be fucking thrilled. But this is the other thing. Like, I'm worried. Like, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should respec. I've already respec like 4 times because I've been trying shit. And I don't think there's unlimited respecs. There's 15 in the game. I guess I could do New Game Plus and get more. But I'm sitting here like I want to respec, but should I? Maybe the next patch is gonna buff fucking beast classes, and then I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck do I do now? This is annoying. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. I'm sorry, I'm reading chat. I agree, but it's a future patch. Fact that this is simply pleasure supplies. FromSoft track record with past entries. Faceless says, wonder if Dex Faith viable. I think, yeah, probably. Well, not Faith. Faith is kind of like a sure kind of thing, you know. It's like unless the spells get patched, I think that'd be good. But yeah, everything that was nerfed is abused in PvP. That made trivial. Yeah. So yeah, that was a PvP argument of people saying like, well, despite if it's a PvE game, and despite if you wanted to make it easier, it's not. You're basically enabling people from trolling other people, which to me, again, I would just rather them nerf the damage in some way rather than take away the cool synergies or make things more clunky. Like Frost Stomp taking a longer time and stuff like that. Frost says Frost Stomp was overkill. You can't deny that. What do you mean? Oh, you mean like the Frost Stomp hitting hard? Yeah, no. I think Frost Stomp. There's a good argument for Frost Stomp. I think Frost Stomp should have probably stayed around like 700 damage. Right now it's at 4. If it was at 700 damage, and then you could because my whole thing, man, that I feel is, yes, was Frost Stomp too much by you just getting it right off the cuff? That's fine. But it seems like they're more okay with things that you earn. So I would have loved if they would have nerfed Frost Stomp, but maybe increased like frost damage scaling based on the Witch's Hat, because there's a Witch's Hat that exists in the game that increases your frost scaling, or frost damage scaling. So to me, like if there was a way to reclaim that damage but earn it, I would be happy with that. But instead, it just seems like no, it's kind of just, you know, it just stuns people really good. But that's basically it, you know. So I'm bummed that a cool way of playing and interfacing with the game is now gone. Relatively, at least it's shattered by other things that are now in the game, you know. And again, the argument is also that like there's a lot of mage spells that really just fucking rip everything apart. So you're kind of like, those got none of those got reallocated or nerfed, despite you have range and you have a fuck ton of damage. But yet the thing that was range, but not too ranged. Had good AoE, but only hit twice. It's not like these mage abilities that like are a cannon straight in front of you. Yes, they rip up AP, but doesn't matter. You could just have a potion that literally gets you a full heal again, and just burst them down in 2 seconds. Or heaven forbid, you burst down most of their health and then have to go in with something else. You know. And it'll take a long time to have a patch. Fluff says you simply need to add. Caveat in the comment or description, or caveat in the comment description. 1.5 Frost Stomp won't be. No, I know, Fluff. I will. I'm planning on doing that. But I'm also I want to find, because it doesn't mean there's not an answer that is needed to Frost Stomp. So there is basically the question is, how do I play the game without get an advantage, beat the bosses essentially without having to iframe dodge every enemy. So to me, I'm trying to think of ways that could replace Frost Stomp, but maybe have a different counter opposed to just having a stupid damage. Instead of having okay, no, you need to invest a ton into intelligence, and then you just use the meteorite skill on Margot, and then you'll be able to kill him pretty easily. But I need to restart a new game, level him up to a sufficient amount, and then try to go fight Margot again. Just to show people that, hey, because I don't feel like it's fair if I just say, yeah, you just do this, and you're good. I don't feel like that's a fair thing to do to people. But I do want to continue the save because I already grinded fucking XP on my mage save, so I'm not like I'm not wanting to throw that away, which is also why I'm like. Faceless says I was expecting Blasphemous Sword to get it too. If it no, it hasn't yet. In fact, I actually have ways to make it better. I would like to show you guys that, but right now we're gonna start grinding a spell that I was grinding for no reason. It's not good. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's a terrible spell, but I thought I'd have it. I've already dedicated like 10 minutes, and then I looked at the Wikipedia, found it kills me as I use it. Also that it might require a staff. Yuck. And now I'm just like, well, what the fuck am I doing? No, Fluff says nerfed immediately. He says when it took 3 weeks for them to address it. What with the frost stomp? Yeah, what do you call it? Yeah, no, my whole thing is not that, like, my thing is, out of all the things that were powerful, mage builds and all these things, I think the fact that they buffed mage abilities and destroyed that, it's like, well, we clearly are okay with power, but just not in this way, which I get. I think their whole thing, if I could summarize their thought process, is probably power earned versus power just quickly gotten and anybody can get. Which, I mean, I don't know, I guess I thought, like, because you could have gotten shards immediately and things like that, that you would have been better off, or like they wouldn't have minded that there were ways and avenues to get power drastically more than you otherwise could have, you know. And it was likely a taste a long time before the next nerf happened if they anything cheesy crops up. Hey, what's up? Fluff says you simply need to add a caveat in the comments or description of Faces says, even though I went profit, I might go int build because order spells take faith too. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea going like a lot of the spells. Like every intelligence like mage build that I've seen has said at least get 20 faith. So like by all means, you absolutely can just pivot your faith build to an int spell build if you wanted. Fluff says sorceries. Oh wait, Faceless says even though the oh yeah. Faceless says sorceries nearly across the board will work wonders. There's a few cone-like precise spells that are solid. Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's anything that's like better than Glintstone Pebble, but like the same level of goodness. And there kind of is, but just nothing like quite like Frost Stomp. Or even, I'm not even looking for Frost Stomp. The thing that made Frost Stomp nuts to me is the fact that it had such a low FP cost and did like a good bit of damage. Because my whole thing is the worst, like the thing that's not bad for me is casting the ability 3 more times and backpedaling. That's fine. I don't need to do like the laser beam death barrage in 2 seconds. In fact, I find that to be quite boring. I'd rather have like, okay, cast, get ready to backpedal, dodge this attack, hit the ground with a stomp. Like those to me were ways where I could, because my biggest thing with melee that feels so shit in the game is when you're like an enemy's hitbox is so big and they're like queuing up an attack, or worse, when they're queuing up an attack that counts as an attack and it knocks you back and puts you into a stagger or some bullshit, or you just take needless damage. Whereas Frost Stomp allowed you to melee close enough. There was like a wiggle room to where you could melee, or not melee, stomp, hit them and still be able to do that damage kind of game. But also there's plenty of times when you've misjudged the closeness of them and then you have to push more forward, which I think is still a thing, which is again why I just hate the fact that they've added more lag onto the thing, because it just makes it feel clunkier, and maybe you are better off just hitting twice with the melee and backing off. But the fact that the melee feels like you get like roundhouse kicked in the back of the face by the boss 6 times if you're that close, you know. Oh my God, so many people are here. What's good, Chloe? Hey, what's good, Chloe? Unless you touch the what is that? Crazy says, dang, Fluff's spamming there. Glintstone Arc costs 10 AP. It's precise wave and it's pretty early mid game. What's Glintstone Arc? Is that the one that it comes with, Fluff? The one we have? If they remove the nerf the infinite FP buff in the physic, I'd shrug, because it's mostly benefit to Cosmic Azure. Most other spells aren't channeled from that much time. No, my thing, Fluff, was not that like your whole build is function around the flask. My argument is take anything that you worked hard or like achieved or killed a boss to attain and take away its power. And then you're forced to be like, okay, well, that thing I leveled, that weapon that was good, that thing that the investment into intelligence or into faith, pointless now. Shit. And now you have to reallocate everything. That's the same feeling of people who are betting on things like Frost Stomper, who bet on the one katana thing that's now not bad. It's still just nerfed, but yeah. Faces says, but my point was that, like, for people who are saying, like, this is annoying at best. This is really fucking annoying. And then people would be like, oh, you're just bitching. It's like, okay, let me dismantle your build. Let's see how much you're like, yay, I gotta go farm a bunch of shit again. Like, no, you're not doing that. And if you are that, you're just like these suffering games. Phases says, like every Souls game, just go back to the garage and build a new one. Not that bad, just annoying. Yeah, but that's my point, man. It's annoying. And it's not even annoying. It's also, like, again, it's discouraging you, at least for me, when, like, oh, that bleed build looks cool, or oh, that mage build looks cool. Okay, well, unless the designers are talking to the community and not just saying, boom, here's a sheet full of nerfs. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what, not that they're doing wrong things. I just don't know what their mind is. Is this okay? What is earned power and what is not earned power? What are you okay with and what is not okay with? That, to me, I can work with. I can make a smart investment on, but otherwise, I don't want to invest in another thing and have to take 10 steps back. The other one, meteorite, because by the way, my faith build is untouched. I still nuke any boss I want. That's not a thing. I just changed to Blasphemous Sword and found other ways to buff up my damage. Most of the... Oh, wait. Also, unless you got the Iceland Axe, would never stand a weapon. Use the Harshot Shroud. Ash of War is completely fine to pivot into another build. Okay, I was gonna say, Fluff, do you know of a weapon that has, like, you know how there's certain weapons that keep their bleed proc, and then you put on the Frost Stomp, and then it kind of shares both of those? Is there a weapon that does that with fire? So is there a weapon that is interchangeable, Ash of War interchangeable, that is fire-based? That has, like, the fire stat that doesn't get replaced by adding another Ash of War that gives it a new element? Most of what the buff was is sorcery is barely optional, so Varied has heavily improved the sorcery users. From that, I've heard Morwan scared severe. Oh wait, Lone Sing, it says, from what I've heard, Magwan's a sacred spear is the OP thing in the game now, with its blood boon ritual skin I'm about to try it out for myself. Interesting. Is that the Malgan's spear? What is that? Is that the one where you do, like, the hurrah and you start stabbing the air, like the world, and it starts bleed dropping everything? What's good, Crash? What's good, Husky? From what I've heard, one of the final weapons. You guys are talking so much. We gotta play. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. The main thing is the PvE and PvP are separate values, so they could have just nerfed Frost Stomp in PvP, but it was exploitative in PvP too. Yeah, I don't know. I do think that, like it's funny. The speedrunning community has, like, seemingly agreed to, like, not use this patch because it was such a fun way of actually, like, hyper stacking value, and like the whole point is speedrunning, like doing something quick. It's fun that was the way that they did it, or that they're trying to keep that. But yeah, yeah. The question is, I guess, how much, like, what was Frost Stomp doing? Letting people kill bosses really, really quickly? Okay, there's still a lot of bosses, like for instance, the boss we fought with the, what is it called? The boss with the 2 giant swords that were just going blitzkrieg. They unlock the mimic zone where the mimic is. That was still a pain in the ass. The dude's throwing rocks. He one-shots you all the time. Like, to me, it's like, it's not like, it wasn't like to the point where it made everything just disgusting. It made certain smaller bosses, I would imagine, a little bit less terrible. But yeah, I'm not, for what it's worth, I'm not disagreeing that Frost Stomp was, like, hitting excessively hard. My problem is, what was the negative? If there was no negative to PvP, if they could have nerfed it downwards, then the only negative is that it was too strong in PvE. And then why is it wrong that some people who don't want to experience XYZ difficulty in the game, if they would have known this one special trick or, like, thing, that they could have gotten past a lot of the things? Again, maybe it's the classic Souls thing of, like, no, it's supposed to be like a rite of passage, the fact that you're going to have to suffer and die 1,000 times to the bosses and XYZ, you know? But it's not like there's not other strong things in the game. And again, maybe the next thing that gets nerfed is bleed, because that seems pretty powerful. You just keep tapping LT and you keep doing these katana slashes that just seemingly wreck. Maybe you have to get close, could be the argument of how that could be kind of reallocated downwards, but if you just pump a lot of HP, you'll have enough to survive, and just go arcane and strength, and and maybe endurance instead of mind. But yeah, Fraisel says, I can go, even though you profit with 2 more skills, I'll kill someone who made max builds that I have and make it the best. So it will get clean, wasn't just a PvP. Both Icerd, Hatchet, and Hoarfrost Stomp ashes are extremely easy to get. You just go and pick up this from a chest or a boon, you win the game. Yeah, but my whole thing is, well, I don't think that's true at all. if you're like, what do you call it again? Like, we fought that one boss on the horseback who just kept throwing meteors at us or was hella aggressive. We had to run away for 80% of the fight, like get our companions to aggro and then get up behind him and do 2 stomps. And we did like, what, 2 chunks of his health bar? Like basically, what was it? Probably added up to like 30% or 20% of his health. And then we had to rinse and repeat. So I think Frost Stomp got you to a point of success, and then if you were to invest in it a great deal, you were to get the shards, you were to get the other stuff, you were to find ways to buff it synthetically, then yeah, then it started to become like it would just stack value. But you still needed to get pretty close to do it. That's not an argument for Frost Stomp not being strong. Again, my argument is not Frost Stomp being strong. It's just that, again, actually I don't even mind the fact that it was nerfed in terms of the damage output. My problem is the fact that they added the hang time on the stomp, which made it feel overall more clunky. And I think that I'd rather it be weaker and not clunky than weaker and clunky, I guess. Or slightly weaker and clunky. Husky says, damn it, donations just give me an error. Oh no, I don't know what happened. Maybe I have to re-rinse something. Sorry, Husky, but thank you for the idea. Or thank you for the intent, I suppose. Let me know if it keeps breaking. Yeah. Adrian says, will Stomp just got perfect? Was Stomp just the perfect range? What do you mean? Oh my God, so many people commenting. Was good, buddy. Was good, Lawrence. Was good, man. Thank you so much for dropping by. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Hopefully, taking care of yourself. Dark Moon is DLC 3. They're my favorites. Different than when I used it. You got to use a unique skill to infuse it with frost buff. Oh wait, Fluff said. Wait, Fluff. The Dark Moon. Dark Moon is functional, different when it is used. You got to use a unique skill to infuse it with a buff, with a frost buff. Okay. Crazy says, good with the chat. Well, good luck with Fluff chat. I just came to say hello. See you Wonderland next week. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, crazy. I'm gonna upload some videos about builds and what class I'm picking. So hopefully you guys will tell me what that is in the next hurrah if you haven't left already. Thank you so much for stopping by. Also, we need Fluff chat. What do you mean? Fluff comments is the perfect amount. Faisal said, just made respec and put all of mine into 16 into faith. Well, I think you want 20 at least in faith if you're going with the intelligence build. Vigor and endurance. Then you do heavier charge, and otherwise I'll do significant arc. Fluff says, GRINN, you can easily pick up the Meteorite Staff Rock Sling early, which I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah, no, that's what I did, the prior stream, yeah. And those are both solid to take down more. Yeah, so that was my only thing, is I was wondering if, what would be the path that people could do outside, because again, my whole thing is, if you were not like wanting to struggle with bosses and hunt around, if I could give you 2 pieces of power that could get you to killing those bosses, that could get you to the end game farm, the one where you're fighting the bosses in the little kind of goblin guys, kind of little chunky, weird toad things. Kill those guys quick, get some levels, have an easier time with the game. Faces says, why not just redo and just go intelligence GRINN, save the whole redo since cap is higher in the old games. What do you mean? Why not just redo and go int? Oh, because Faceless, my whole thing, for reason why I made that video prior, is because I wanted to show people, because to me I had the question of, well, for people who are worried about the game and who don't feel like they've ever been like, oh no, Souls games are not for me because, you know, they look cool, but I never have the time to play them, and I always, you know, I suck at video games, so, you know, I can't. I wanted to make a video for them. I want to show them that, what do you call it, basically that they could have they could play the games. They could find a way that even if you weren't gifted with this or that, you'd still be able to do. And by gifted, I don't mean gifted. I know no one's gifted. It's just fucking time and patience and whatnot. No, still nothing. They say that person's the only one that spawns it, but yeah, I'm not sure if that's true. There's like a bunch of other fire people, but that one does have a lit staff, so I think it might be her. By the way, we're farming a sorcery that will kill me. I thought it would be good because it had a low FP cost, and then I looked and read it more, and it said no, it kills you. And I'm like, oh great. But with the build that I'm currently running with the blasphemous sword, depending on the amount of damage that it deals to us, it might be worth. But I don't think so. Also, she does this cool attack that I wish was a spell or an Ash of War, but I don't think it is. It's like this cool, like, barbed wire vein thing. Show the people, weird husky thing. This. I wish, no, not that. Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. You wench, come on. There it is. No, it's not that. She's just doing frenzy shit. Come on, do it. This is it. No, it's just a bloody thing. She does like this cool, this is what I want. I want that. Can I have that, please? Look how cool that is. Why can't I have that on a weapon? Unlucky. Stop it. Did she drop it? She didn't. Oh my God. I feel like this might be broken because I've seen people get the drop. I have not got anything. Lone Sinket says, yup, Grin, that's one I just got requirement to use. And my first impressions of it is, yup, OP. Yeah, the one that's like you're like a trident. It just like smashes the air and rips up everything. Yeah, but like to me, man, like to me, I'm like, ooh, that bleed build looking good. Never mind. Like I don't know. To me, there's something in my head that's like, I'm gonna use whatever's powerful. I'm using this, and I hate that. It makes it like, what the fuck? Like I want to hunt for the thing that's like cracked, but I just feel like if I do it, it's who's to say that it becomes nerfed later down the line? And I'm like, well, all that time and investment in getting that shit is gone. So. Fuck me, you know? Come on, why'd you drop it? I farmed her like 8 times. I'm convinced that she doesn't drop it, and we're gonna find that out in the 2 hours that we dedicate to doing this. Love says, Harfrost drop trivialized the final boss, or very well could have if you used it pre-patch. Yeah. So to me, again, I don't like the thing was never that it was completely fine. The thing was that I wish it would have been still something that you could have hyper invested in and attained a similar damage string, maybe like a something that decreased the radius of all AoE attacks, but gave you the same damage thing. Because to me, I still don't have that weapon. The weapon that kind of simulates. I don't like. Again, there's a huge negative to getting close when you're playing melee. So if there's anything that can like do that for me, where I don't have to get point fucking blank and I'm playing the weird hitboxy nonsense of the boss, then I'm happy. But I don't think there is. The only thing that is the blasphemous sword. But if your boss happens to be fire, then heaven forbid you're gonna be able to do anything. And again, ranged people can do a fuck ton of damage, like a shit ton of damage. So, I don't know. Like to me, and again, then the argument becomes, or the perspective becomes, well, you could get it super easy. And again, that to me is like, okay, then make it hard to get, like make it a pain in the ass to get. But at least let me be able to attain that power. Because why is it fair that the guy who can take a potion and then just laser beam what I'm sure can one shot the final boss is doing the same thing? Why is his path okay, and my weird stop the world where I have to at least get close isn't? That to me isn't a thing. And again, it's not to say that mages are like OP and broken and need to be patched. It's not what I'm saying. But I just would like there to be a path forward to attain the same power as a mage, especially when like mages, like if the weakness of a mage is that you have to get point of like and then you're squishy, it doesn't matter. You have like your summons can gain aggro instantly, easily, incredibly easily. And there's like a bubble that will protect you from being hit, and there's also like Wolfhound Step, which can get you far the fuck away. Also, man, in the Twitter comments of the Nerf patch, holy shit, there's people who are like, yeah, you should nerf everything. There's people who are just hellbent. I'm like, no, it's too much. Like they were talking about Horcrux. What is it called? Like the like Bloodhound Step, that needs to be nerfed. They're talking about the vial that gives you unlimited mana needs to be nerfed. They were talking about the cannon and the helmet and the whole build around that needs to be nerfed. So there's definitely a group of people who are like, no, stop it. And I'm like, man, okay. Faceless says, Starting class doesn't matter anymore because with the minimum and maximum doesn't matter if you don't use it right. Okay. Fluff says Radahan is also necessary for any percent speedrun. Radahan is also not necessary for any percent speedrun. Okay, yeah, no, I don't know about all that. I was just saying that there are bosses that have stupid high AOE, like, and they're like are flinging around all around you. And I guess there's again, but that was the other thing. They also nerfed, by the way, I didn't mention this. There was a thing that I never did, but it looked cool. Never got to experience it, unfortunately, but it was the sword that you would equip, and it would give you an extra attack for your summons or for your any incantations. So spells and incantations got a buff whenever you activated this Ash of War. They gave you, I think, 80% more damage, but until you hit with your melee weapon. But for whatever reason, it was accounting for your spells and all that stuff, and that was nerfed. That to me was where like things started getting insane with like Frost Stomp, and that in combination, you would literally two-shot bosses with Frost Stomp, whereas beforehand you needed to like hit, and the boss would gain aggro, try to kill you, you'd backpedal or dodge away or something, and then you'd wait for there to be an opening and you just stomp again, whereas the other one you just stomp twice and then he'd die, and you're like, ugh, that's quite a lot. Now with that being said, though, Frost Stomp, I'll show you guys in a minute here, if Frost Stomp is not like neutered entirely, but it is. Again, I shouldn't say that. It could be neutered entirely. To me, like what I mean by neutered entirely is it worth investing in, and can you get enough out of it to where it's worth your investment? That is what to me is worth it. Because you can just like use a fucking gray sword for the whole game if you want, you know. So my argument is, or my perspective, hopefully, to see if Frost Stomp is worth a damn is looking in. I'm not even sure. Maybe we'll have to do the tests. I don't know, but it'll require me doing a lot of quests. I'll have to get the one lady's hat, which increases frost damage. I'll have to look in to see if there's a weapon that has built-in fire regardless of if you put Frost Stomp on it. That way we could apply 2 elements. That way we could put the magic scaling thing on our character, as well as the full health attack scaling buff, as well as the specific, fire scaling charm that I actually have on right now. Still nada. What's good? Music says, why do you use Great Ruins? What do you mean? I'm pretty sure the meteorite staff rocks that Margaret myself, trying to get, the Bray and Sin. There's 2 sorcerers that do that. One is a ranged spell, and another is a combo AoE. What? Wait, which one's the one that she did? How do I get the brambles that like spike out of the air and wreck some shit? Can you link me a Wikipedia article of how we get that? Because right now I'm going for the stupid AoE one, which I don't think is going to be good. But because my build basically facilitates me like getting HP, the idea that I'm wasting my HP is not actually the worst idea. The 2 or more, the Thorn sorcery scale exclusively off of Faith, and there's a staff and also a boost from the sorceries that only need Faith as well. Ooh, okay, maybe we'll go get the both of them then. Because the build that we're kind of rocking right now is, give me the fucking thing, you piece of shit. Anyway, the thing we're running right now is a shit ton of healing. Yeah, we have basically, we get our health back immediately. Oh, thank you, Fluff. Let me pause the game before I do the things. We got this, and we got, oh, no, where'd my chat go? Do I get this? No, goddamn, this, and then this. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so there's that one, and then there's this one. So we're going with we're doing the Barriers of Sin, which summons thorns from your own blood. Okay, so yeah, we just do an AoE. But this one, is this one the one that you're talking about? Wounds caster, but unleash a trail of brambles. It's in the region of giants. Kill me. Can be found in the leftmost dead tree next to 3 lesser fire monks just before long. Stone bridge with golden art. Also, it's pretty cheap. Costs 14 FP. Kills my ass though, but yes. With golden archer at the end of the mountain of giants. It will hopefully tell me. Just take me to the map, please. We might go snag this when we're able to get this, maybe. I say that very loosely, because who's to say I can actually attain it, because Jesus Christ, is it a nightmare? zoom in a little bit more on me so I can find where it is. Good. We can see the grand lift. Some shit that happened above me. Hopefully everything's okay. Thank you, Fluff. Thank you, thank you. Fluff says, had it been done in PvP purely, or had done a purely PvP game, I'd have a major problem with it. Just look at how they massacred Outriders back in the day. What do you mean? What happened? What do you mean? I'm sure this was relevant to something I was saying, which would make more sense. That's not what the Ashes of War meant to do. What is? What do you mean? Oh no! As far as them saying, let me see. In the description of is resolve is just to buff the next. Oh, you know, yeah. To me, again, there's an argument for like when something is like mechanically not working. Like when you applied fire onto yourself and then somehow the fire is now doing a bleed proc. Like that to me is broken. But then again, to me, there's like I was disappointed by them adding more. If I could just summarize what I was actually like, this is annoying, and like I don't think this is a step in the right direction. I'm fine with them nerfing Frost Stomp. That makes sense. It's fine with me. I think there's like magic stuff that does seemingly more damage and whatnot. Maybe unearned is the question, that Frost Stomp is not earned damage, whereas maybe some of the spells you have to go to end game, push past some bosses, earn it, and then you'll finally have the power, which is sure. But the two things that I agree with is that Frost Stomp, yeah, should have been reduced. I don't like that they made it more clunky by increasing the stomp time. That just makes it more annoying to use. It also makes it do what it's supposed to do less, which is apply a frost stat and debuff the enemy. And then the other thing is, I don't like that they ruined, or they destroyed the synergy with the shield and the fire dot, because that was cool, interesting synergy. That was synergy that I think they should have allowed to exist. Because but with that being said, though, they could have nerfed the damage. They could have significantly reduced the little glint damage. They could have scaled it based on the damage you receive. That would have been fine. But just the idea that like that was synergy that was clever, made sense, and to me functioned in a really interesting way. That was like the pinnacle of like, okay, these two things as negatives actually together make a positive. But the fact that they nerfed that, I'm like, okay, so now I don't know what you're gauging. Now it seems weird on what you're actually. Like what is okay? What is earned power and what is unearned power? That's where I start getting uneasy. I don't like it. 10 seconds for the highest increased spells cast damage for the weapon. In the other hand, it's the Frost Stomp before, but I can test it to report back. I'm not sure if the Snow Witch buffs Frost Stomp. I thought it did. Maybe it was just a Frost build and people were trying to synergize and make it all line up. Music says, you got a missing spot on the left side of your HP. There should be some great room. Oh yeah, no, I haven't done. People were telling me about that. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I haven't done that yet. I don't know what that is. I've been I've been pulled on a string. By again, like I mentioned, by cool items and like build synergy of like, oh, that could help my overall build. Where is it? Oh, I have to get to this location. Okay, what do I need to do that? Kill this boss, go over here, get this amulet. Good, we'll do all that. That's what's been dragging me through the game. Not like, ooh, let me go get my ass kicked by this boss, or ooh, let me go fight this boss and get my ass kicked in a different way. Ooh, this is a new boss to get my ass kicked. That ain't my life, fam. I know some people love that stuff to bits, which I don't mind it. But I know some people like thirst for that. That ain't me. Yeah. Come on, like we think it is. Fluff says, here's the 2. Hey, what's going on? You got a missing spot. Okay, just tested it. Snow Witch hat does not buff Frost now. Well, thank you, Fluff, for letting me know. Yeah, unlucky. Unlucky. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Fluff, I'm not sure if you would know this either, but do you know if there's a weapon that, I think I asked you this, do you know if there's a weapon that scales off of fire damage, but can be Art of War changed? Yeah. Because I was surprised. A lot of people were saying like one of the coolest katana weapons in the game, the Moonlight Katana, not the Moonlight Katana, whatever this katana is, the Orochi. The Orochi comes with bleed proc, and they were like, holy shit, that's so good. But also, there's a mace that comes with an even better bleed proc, and you can get it just as easy. I hadn't heard anyone talk about it, and I was like, why is the katana, people talking about the katana when there's a better bleed synergy with this flail. And I heard nobody talk about that. So I was like, what the heck is that? I mean, like, this is the better synergistic piece, or stat stick, I guess. Francisco says, do you guys know if they nerfed the Moonveil katana? Yeah, they didn't. Well, they nerfed it, but it seems like people have said it's still. What they did apparently is the Moonveil katana used to stagger a shit ton of bosses within like 2 sheaths or something, like just stagger the shit out of enemies. Whereas now they reduced the sheathing, but I don't think they nerfed the damage too much. So I think if you heavily invested in the Moonlight katana in terms of whatever stats that it values, I think it still does hit really, really hard. I don't think they nerfed it in that way. Also, I think it might be better off me just killing the slimes because they kind of delay me a little bit. Also, they drop a resource, which can be good. Ooh, Faisal says, so what is the meta level here? 150 or 160? I've seen 150, I've seen 160. I think 160 would be, to me, what would be all you'd honestly need. At that point, it's just about whether what you're investing in gives you value back. So you could have a weapon that just doesn't scale well, which could be a problem, you know. Flo says weather level allows you to soft cap is 80 for a main offensive stat. Yeah. God damn you. Am I fucking up by like taking their soul? Does it count as like a drop or something? Because I'm healing from every time I kill them, but yeah. Now, Fluff says, I agree that shouldn't have left. I agree they should have been left alone, but they were fixed unintended interactions with fire, deadly sin, and likely resulted in also removing the shield combo. You unlock great runes from many major bosses. You activate them at divine tours associated with whichever region the boss was in incantation with. The great runes after you equip the great rune. Gotcha. So I don't know. Do I need to go to a place to equip the great rune? Because I have a lot of those like rune arcs or something like these. Use grants the blessing of the equipped great rune upon use. I don't think I have a great rune. But I was even thinking about it. I was like, now that like stop meta is gone, we got blasphemous sword meta, but also I feel like I might just buff a lot of faith, because blasphemous sword feeds off of faith, and also Alone Singer was telling us about that awesome Reaper scythe, that also seems pretty good. It seems like a good, like, again, like that's the other weapon that gives me a ranged hit. Like it's just basically huck discs. But those discs seem like if I maybe, well, I don't know if they actually scale really hard, because I went out of my way. I have like was it 20 intelligence right now or something? I mean, it's like 15. What is it? I have I have 13. Sorry, 13 intelligence, because there was a special, like, it looked cool. This is where I'm at. It looked really cool. It was like you whip discs like Krillin, basically. And I wanted to try it. It didn't scale well. It's horrible. It's super not worth. But it looked cool. Oh, it's a permanent until death. Yeah, see, I don't care about that. Yeah, see, I don't know why, man. To me, I don't like. This is the core problem for me with this. Like my problem with the nerfs is just I hate when you invest in something and then it goes away. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, seems like why the fuck am I here? You know what? What are we doing? Guys, I don't think it summons. What? Yeah, did it exist? I think the game might be broken. The patch came out, it broke this. Because we farmed this like 6 times, and before you were here, I farmed it 8 times. And no, I don't have it. I looked. Maybe you need like the staff or something, or maybe the game is like, you're a faith build, idiot. You're not gonna be able to. Well, actually, no, it's faith scaling, so it should do something. Faisal says, yup. I use Godric. I think it gives HP, stamina, and FO. Okay. Ooh, that would be a nut. No, never mind. That wouldn't be great. I'll do this. Come here. Nothing. Not a thing. Let's drink some water. My mouth's dry. Ooh. Fluff says people are massive weebs and love katanas. Is that what it is? I watched a whole last video of a guy shitting on katanas. He was a chubby man with glasses, but seemed like a top-notch man. Yes, he was talking about how katanas were like popularized heavily, but actually are a kind of shit weapon. Actually, all things considered, or at least they were a marvel for what they were born into, which is the Japanese era of not having pure, like, clean steel or something like that. So they were actually quite good for what they were able to wield, but the quality of steel was actually not that great. And things like, yeah, where the places of abundance in steel were actually made far superior swords and something like that. It was interesting, but also katanas, dude. Come on! Ah! Music says there is a blood katana that makes fire damage and bleed. Excuse me? Excuse me? You can't put a moveset on it though, right? Right? I think, are you sure? I think what you might be seeing, Music, is I know there's an Ash of War that you basically activate and you put a bunch of fire in the air and then you attack and then you like gain the fire on your weapon. But I think that's just because you have a bleed weapon and then you're like synthetically putting fire on it. I don't think there's a fire base weapon. That's not a what is it called? A unique. Most of the katanas do blood loss. The Morning Star Flail and Night Rider Flail have less reach and less appeal. Less appealing movesets. Gotcha. So people just like the moveset of the thing. I like Flail. I think I like Flail more than katana gameplay, frankly. Although I will say the katana looks clean. You look like a a badass rodent, Raiden, whatever the fuck it's called. Faisal says, I have 35 vigor. I think it's good, and 30 endurance in mind. That's not bad. Yeah, no. Vigor, I don't think I haven't really felt, well, outside of fighting that one boss, which really wrecked my whole fucking build. But yeah, he was bad. He was rough. But other than that, I didn't really feel like I needed that much more health. I think I have 25 right now. Maybe I have 30, actually. I don't know. No, you go to a great spot in the ruins and give it a buff. I think there's 6. Oh, yeah, but then you lose it, right? Yeah, see, I don't like that. I don't like that. Maybe when we go to fight a boss, that could be really relevant when we're like, I need every advantage. But even then, I think I would rather vie for getting more levels ups and such, and such. Fluff says, I don't believe that enemy drops the spell or staff. Really? Because the wiki says it's slimes, but the fucking guy who I watched a video of was pointing at that person that literally has the attack or a similar attack, but the Wikipedia said it's slimes. We'll fight the slimes because right now we're kind of like just lost because, yeah. But I guess we'll fight some slimes. Maybe that's what it is. Because I fought all the other ones as well. I have seen a video of a person. Yeah, no. I seen a person getting it from killing this person. So I think that's right. Hit him, please. Just hit. It's fine. You can knock me off the horse. It's fine. I just want to kill you. Yeah, no, because I've killed that person. I've killed the people in there, and I have seen a video of it dropping from this person. So yeah. Fluff says, so you specifically want fire damage weapon that can have an Ash of War change. Yeah, because, well, I'd hope that it also applies the Frost Stomp effect to fire as well, but maybe it doesn't. But even then, I think someone was saying something about, like, if you have fire, maybe that's why I want a fire spell. Because they said, like, Frost Stomp, and then you activate a fire thing, and then it basically takes off the cryo so that you can reapply Frost Stomp again or something like that. I think it was Beastie was telling us something about it. Faceless says, I have 35 vigor and endurance mind. We neither oddly enough the main weapon that deals fire damage and also blood are things like reavers, a blood katana, and the Alien Polable Twin Blade. Oh, weird. All right, we'll try you guys next. Because the Wikipedia says it's the slugs, but I've seen a video of it literally dropping from this guy. So yeah, and there's other priests that I was farming beforehand, but they don't have a torch that's on fire. So I thought, and also, why is that one excluded over there? So if you look at these guys, they don't have a flaming sword, like it's not actually on fire. Actually, maybe it is, but it's not glowing like the other one is. Also, Frost Stomp is good for every other enemy in the world, just not bosses, because no one has more than 1,000 health, usually. But see, just a bunch of little frost, burning butterfly embers and shit. But yeah, I've killed those guys a bunch, nothing. So yeah. Faces says, Reaver of Blood is my favorite katana. Is that the one that the blood build-up katana that I seen? Looks great. Yeah, they all have unique Ashes of War. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I thought it would. So I don't think there is a fire stat stick, essentially. Lozig says, the katana is not as good of a weapon as people think. A better version of the sword is believed as a Tai Chi or an Otachi. Yeah. I checked. There's a non-unique weapon that do initiate fire damage. However, what I suggest you do is find a weapon that does initial blood loss and then apply an Ash of War that does fire and flame. Or no, I'm not looking to do a fire. I'm trying to make Frost Stomp have another element. Is my intention. I'm trying to reclaim the power of Frost Stomp through investment. I don't think I'm going to get it, but that's the goal. So I was trying to find it in the same way that I think Frost Stomp can activate a bleed. At least that's what everyone was saying. Maybe it actually doesn't, but yeah, the way the Frost Stomp can actually apply a bleed, maybe it also could apply a frost thing. I mean, maybe there's a torch that's considered to do that. But yeah, what is the weapon that does it? Unless, is that what you said? Let me see. Did I misread? I checked. There's no. Oh, I see. No, that's what you said. I checked. There's no non-unique weapon that initiates fire. Okay, gotcha. So you're saying, but the way I could get it, to at least use fire with the two elements, is to find a weapon with blood loss and then apply fire to it. Yeah. That makes sense. I wonder if that be a way to do it. Is that how people did it? Because when you have a weapon and it doesn't have any sort of special thing on it, but then it would just scale off of strength and intelligence, or strength and dexterity. But that might be how people did it. Because you can only apply a fire spell to a weapon if it doesn't have. We could try that. Let's try that. Let's try it real quick. Let's try that. Probably won't work, but let's try it. Doesn't hurt. Yeah. Sorry, little pit stop. Yeah. Grin, check your sorceries for me. Yeah, well. 'Tis not there, my boy. Unless it is, and I've got it passively. In that case, hey guys, we were just hanging out. We were just chatting. It's not there. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, how did I pick it up? What the fuck? It usually pops up in the map. I picked it up. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? In the video I seen it, literally, I also checked it. Oh my god. Oh, pain. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk. Don't look at me. Look somewhere else. Hey Fluff, where's that staff that has that bleed thing you were telling me about? Ugh. Anyways, the thing I wanted to look at. Ugh. What am I doing? We're trying to go to Ash of War. I just wanted to see something real quick. It still hurts as I think about it. Let's do this one, and I just wanted to see if we put. Where is it? There we go. This. See, so we can do cold, we can do magical, or we can do standard. And maybe this is what Beastie was saying. So we do standard. we equip that bad boy, and we basically go and try. I'm not sure. Maybe you can't apply a spell to it, or maybe you can. I mean, we don't get the intelligence scaling, which for me is actually a blessing. Let's see, memory. We'll replace the heal, I guess, and we'll put on this. Enchants right hand with black lightning. No, instead, we'll do this. Yes. Let me go to the spot of testing and move on. You can't? Alright. Faceless got ahead of it. Bang, can't. Shit. Is what it is. Wait, it says I can. Does it just not, like, does it not actually apply? It just, like, you'd have to melee, it's only physical shit? It's only physical stuff? I can't tell. Maybe it is only physical things. Ow. Alright. Anywho, I wanted to show you guys something at some point as well. Let's do this. Enhancement only work on physical affinities. Frost Stomp does not receive additional damage. Gotcha. Okay, well, one of the ways you can increase frost damage is by this. So right now, where's my katana? It has my big pooba on it. This, where is it? Where is it? Also, I could level up this. It does have blood loss buildup as well. And there's also range. Where is it? Where's my katana? I think I passed it already. No, that's that. This. Okay. So our base damage is as followed. We deal, what is it? We do 576. 576 on our second detonation. 576, but what we could do is we could do this, my dudes. We could scream to the heavens. This just gives us a synthetic buff. Yeah, did not know that. Pretty cool. We're also going to pray to the gods, all that, bang. And now we're going to be doing significantly more damage. This. T80. It's a good jump. Good jump. 2 hits, we still would have killed everyone. So we're still 2-shotting these guys if we have all of these equipped, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we basically retained our power. We just have to activate a couple skills, and these last a good long time too. And yeah, still pretty worth it. I think our scream wore it off, but yes, also it still doesn't take up a lot of mana. So all in all, still worth. For those guys who were curious, again, we did 576. That scream thing does count. I should have showed you guys that beforehand, but let's do this. We'll do this. Where is it? Scream. Ah! Also looks pretty cool. Anyways, this. So we did, what, 576? Now we're doing 582. So we're actually doing a huge damage bonus. Also, that applies to everything, by the way. That's just a synthetic damage bonus, so that's actually doing more damage than normal. We did 7 something. Stop it. Stop it! Oh yeah, so normally we did, yeah, so we did actually as a huge damage bonus. We just did 570 something, and now we did the other thing, which is good. It's technically magic frost damage. Gotcha. So okay, so we need to buff magic damage or frost damage, which is why that works. Sorcery buff spell that boosts damage for frost. Yeah, no, it's that. Is that the like AOE that you put down? I've seen that work. So we can also get that too, but right now I think, because yeah, honestly, well no, this works. I guess you could activate your delusion, this, and then switch over to the blood thing. But anyways, I wanted to actually test out this thing. I need a staff. I have no intelligence, so I'm not sure if I can even use any staff. I can use glintstone pebble one. Hey. Anyways, also we need to equip some things. Yeah. Terror gives a big buff. Yeah, I didn't think that, man. I didn't know that like terror on yourself. Is that what it is? Is like the more terror you are, the more damage you deal? Is that the synergistic thing of it all? Because I didn't know that was it. I guess that makes sense. The closer you are to madness, the more like enraged damage you deal. That's kind of dope though. This. So I just wanted to see. So when we put the blasphemous sword on, which by the way, just for clarity's sake, the blasphemous sword still does a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage. Now that's not as much as we were doing with the one thing, but if we activate Insaneness, we activate this, we're gonna deal a good bit. Yeah, like 30% damage. That's what it felt like, man. It feels like huge. So this, now we're gonna run. This is how we melt bosses. Come on, fire. There we go. Yeah, so now we're almost doing 2,000 when it actually does hit. Also, we can spam it, although it does chew through our thing, which is why I wanted to see. Also, is there any way to increase the sword damage that you're doing? Also, yeah, we're a heavy boy right now. Boom. So this does work. But yeah, also I imagine it would also work if we were in the like area that Fluff was saying, that like golden, like the mage area kind of thing. But let's see, because that actually does pretty good damage, but I just wanted to see how we would fare with this. So us basically like getting damage. Basically, we're going to kill ourselves, but when we kill an enemy, we get health back. So I want to see, we're going to go with the better version of this and see if we can actually, if this is even remotely good. Yeah, I was worried about that. Yeah, it's not very good. But maybe the one at a range could be good. I don't know. It also just takes such a long time to like even hit remotely. There we go. Also, we're very overweight right now, so let's take off this until we can get access to the thing. We roll, we can. Okay. All right, let's go to the Hill of Giants. I got to do some things here. If you want to defeat the final boss, I finally recommend redeeming the Remembrance of the Sacred Relic Sword. It increases Dex and Faith. Great sword, great sword word that makes the farming super easy. Oh, nice. It's an AoE buff that grants buff to all magic damage for anyone standing within it for like 3 seconds after you leave. Oh, nice. Assuming you have enough intelligence and I was about to say you need to have a sufficient intelligence. That's probably like 20, right? I remember I seen someone use that and I was like, okay, that's like for the hybrid build a little bit. Okay, so it wants me to go. I gotta mark this on my map, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, but I can't pull up the map at the same time. So yeah, actually we might have. Yeah, we might actually have been really close to it. It's right here. Got it. We'll teleport there. I'll pull up my chat again. Where is my coffee? Right here. Did you guys see that, like, Austin Powers guy, his new movie? It's a trip. I mean, it looks like it's on Netflix, right? It's one of those. Also, got all the beast abilities. Got all the beast root. Ugh. Also, one thing I wasn't giving enough credit to the Blasphemous Sword is it has hella range, so it's actually way better for bosses. So you can like stay far the fuck back and then just keep hitting things from range and running away. Also, you can just invest heavily into, because if you're investing into stamina and all these other things, you're gonna have a lot of weight. So basically I can wear heavy armor and not have a problem either. So it's just overall good, real good. Is this what I need to do? I didn't read the thing. Let me pause the game real quick. No, I didn't close it. This is, it says, can be found at the leftmost dead tree next to the 3 lesser firelings, just before the long stone bridge. Okay. So it says it can be found by the leftmost tree. This? Yes. Well, look at that. Excuse me. Stop it. Ah. Okay, we're out of here. So I was farming for that for 20 minutes, and I guess I already had it. I just missed it when I looked because it's one of the first things. That's so sad. That's so sad, dude. Oh. I just want to travel away. What's good, Catman? It's the hot minute. Catman says, "Hey, Grin. Just wanted to say I loved growing up while I loved growing up while watching you. I went to high school, to the college, graduate with your. Wait, what? You graduated, man. I'm so proud of you. Well done. It's insane. Oh, it's so cool, Catman. Congratulations, man. Holy shit. That's amazing. Graduated with your videos. Thank you for making content, man. I don't deserve people like you, Catman, but I appreciate you. I'll do my best. That's all I got. But thanks, man. That's wonderful. I'm so happy, so proud of you. Make like someone buff with Golden Vow. Catch up. Assuming you have enough intelligent faith, it'd be better if you had a faith staff that boosts thorn sorceries. Question, what is the goal of this stream? We are just gearing up. We're talking just about the kind of the patch and where we're gonna go from here. So essentially, I'm trying to the best of my ability, also failing spectacularly sometimes. I'm basically trying to fix the last stream. So I'm trying to find. One of our goals, our objectives, is to find a passive spell that basically gives sufficient damage. Like to the point where you could easily kill Margaret, or yeah, Margaret, sorry, or Margot? No, Margaret. I think that's right. Anyways, the first boss, fight him and the one inside the castle, kill him really quick. That way people could still sequence in the same way, because it would be unfair for me to like frost stomp the world and then them to be like get to that point and be like, what the fuck? I'm not doing any damage. So I need to find another, like, what did I call it? A weapon of power, like a piece of power that could help you circumnavigate the challenge of boss fights. And Fluff was saying that Gravity Storm, if you just invested in intelligence enough, could get you there, essentially, also get you farther away. But it would also require you to invest in certain things. So that's the thing that we're going to do, I think, maybe tomorrow. I might do a kind of like a kind of patch job on that initial thing, and we may continue our progress on that. Basically trying to like show people, okay, so this is what you do instead. So if you just forget about the weapon of power and you basically supplement the beginning of this stream, for how you get a weapon that actually hits hard, and then you add it up. And then I think I'll just make a video, like I'll take both and make a cleaner video. But if people want greater one-to-one, where do I go specifically, they can just watch the stream. So the stream will facilitate the video will facilitate the stream in a way, depending on what people want. They can kind of choose what they want. But in this stream, it's also us trying to get, I basically, because we're now in this build where we're kind of healing a lot, we have a lot of armor. I wanted to see what the blood-like abilities would go, because we're basically healing every single time we kill something, we're healing. So I wanted to see if there was some cool sorceries that had low FP costs, but also kill me, but it's fine because I heal from them dying. So I was wondering if there was a way to kind of do both. That's why we're trying to find this special staff. Where to find the staff? The staff is an uncommon drop from the red robed skeletons at Fort Hadada. Okay. Fort that. Map link. Uh-oh. Okay. So they're an uncommon drop. Or so it's an uncommon drop by these people at this fort. Where is this generally located? This is the very top of the map. It does look like it's very top of the map. It is. Okay. We're gonna go zoom in. Zoom in. It's so fucking laggy, which probably makes sense because it's asking a lot. Okay. We'll do this. Jesus Christ. It's so laggy, the map. We're gonna do this. We're gonna back up. We're going to fort this. We kind of been there. Neat. We'll summon there. I'll go big cam. I'll go back to y'all. So we need to kill red-robed people. I think the same fire people we were fighting, but we unfortunately have not gotten that staff. Unless we have. I don't know. I may have missed that. Equipment. Staffs. Did they drop that when I was murdering them 1,000 times? Let's see. If they did, I'm going to be like, well, this is actually, I'll be happy. No, we got nothing. they're not, nothing. You're best at all. I've been watching, man. Thanks, man. Faisal says, Grim, you're missing Alexander's shard, which boosts blasphemous sword pretty good. What's that? Alexander's shard? Maybe I haven't gotten that one. Oh yeah, no. Oh, is that the one that increases your charge attack? Yeah, no, man, I haven't gotten it yet because I haven't done the wolf guy's quest line because I've been wanting to do it. There's so many other things that I've been wanting to do, like do the mage start and then to have that entirely annihilated. So, yeah. Also, is this the red hooded people that they were talking about? Because these are the same red-headed people we were just killing. But it said it has a low drop. Oh, maybe it means this. Maybe it's you. No, I don't know. Is it inside or is it the outside? Who knows? These ones are significantly stronger, though. They last 2 frost stomps. Blasphemy. Nope, just more glimmers. Just more glimmers. I hope it doesn't mean the one's inside. Is there like a special type of enemy that I'm not seeing? Or is we just run around and like slice them, I guess. Probably just slice them. There's one weirdo over here. Well, they're fighting some soldiers. We're just gonna grief them both. Excuse me, sir. It's gonna take a while. Still good. It still stuns basic enemies a lot. The blasphemous sword is gonna be the king for bossing, I think. I don't think you're the ones I need to kill, actually. So a little rough. Sir, I don't know if I have one. I do. Let's drink up that. And good. Right, let's respawn. Lone Secret says, no, Alexander is the pot. And he gives a talisman that boosts skill damage. Okay. Is that a quest? How long is the quest? Or do I literally just go and say, hi? Is it like if I go to a place on the map, could you link it to me on the wiki? Please? Because I think it sounds like you probably gotta do a quest for the pot man, right? Because no, I would love that. That would, if it increases your skill damage, I think it might increase for a Horcrux Stomp. Although I thought people tried that and they said that one didn't, but it did for Blasphemous Sword, I bet. Didn't drop anything? Nope. Run! That's interesting. So there's a pot man. I've seen people like do the quest with a pot man. Like not do. I haven't seen it. I've seen like the early, whenever the game was just coming out, the people were saying that this was a viable, weird option. You know. Do this. Nothing. It just turned to ashes. I don't think you're the one. I know there's one more over here. I don't know if it's worth running all the way over here to kill one or just reset. Probably just reset. Actually, there's a horde of them out there. They do say it's a really low drop. I keep just getting smoldering butterfly things. Okay, I get it. Heart pain. Yeah, but see, that's what it looks like on the thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be the one thing, Fluff. Oh, that's why we went to the one place. I actually wanted just to see. I just wanted to see if we got the thing. Let's see. Is this? We'll come back here. I did want to. We got the special thing. I just want to see what it was. Like, is this even? If it's just an AOE around me and I can't even cast it in time, then it doesn't have the range in which I can use it properly. So, but we can try and see. We do need to equip the staff again. Again, I just want to see if this thing has range, then it's like, okay, then that thing can at least reach. But if it takes too long to cast and I can't even do the bare minimum, then it's going to be, I don't think it's something I want to invest in too much, you know? Which would make this kind of a moot point. But it looks like it's just a more powerful AoE that takes more damage. Or takes more HP from me, but let's see. Maybe we're all crazy here. Let's see this. No, it's range, baby! We can work with that! Also, if I hold charge, does that do anything? I feel like we could maybe keep stacking that. I don't know why it looks like there's a build, like a blood buildup for me. I wonder if it's like if you have arcane power. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna be able to make this even remotely good enough to work, like to warrant us taking damage like this. But hopefully the weapon, it would like scale, because this is a level 1 weapon, so this is like scaling off of nothing. Also, I should definitely level up because I have a sufficient amount of points. It's a very good relic. Fluff says it's a lengthy quest chain, but you should be able to do it easily. Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, because I'll make a point to do that because that would help Frost Stomp and also Blasphemous Sword, I think. Well, actually, I don't know if I thought people tested it and it didn't actually work with Frost Stomp because Frost Stomp counts, like Fluff was saying, as magic, not necessarily a skill. But I thought some skill things do level it up in some ways. Anyways, Anyways, we were doing faith. I'll just buff more faith, I guess. Yeah, because we have so much stuff at this point. But no, that is enough range to where I feel like it might be worth leveling. Because guys may be saying, well, GRINN, it does no damage. What are we doing? Why are we investing in this? But that weapon we're using is level 0, so it's scaling nothing. And it was still able to make a dent. So if it could do a little bit more than a dent, then something. And also those enemies, believe it or not, are actually quite tanky. They're just derpy. So yeah, potential possibilities, you know. Nothing there. I feel like I might want to equip my other weapon just because, yeah. I had the other one because it was good AoE, but... Ah! Ah! I got her. No. Yeah, I feel like it's not worth going to the right. I think we should go to the left because there's a group of them. Ooh, is it something? It's just a fucking smoldering thing. Please. Frost Stomp is magic. Magic / frost. Stop it. Thank you. I try to pick up stuff, but it doesn't let me when I think I'm in. Oh, I got it! We got easy peasy! It's so fast! So fast! Well, I also got that, whatever that is. Alright, so now we're gonna start to, before we check off, we're going to go here and try to do some stuff. Try to get some more points so that we can buy all the shards to level up the weapon to a sufficient amount. Not a great amount, but something. Let us do this, and do this. Frost Stomp is magic and frost damage, but it does not count as a frost sorcery. Oh, okay. But it's weird because there's things that increase your skill damage, right? So I think that does count for frost things. Because honestly, if I could just keep it hitting for like 2,000k, I'd be pretty fucking. I'd be happy with that. Stop. Although I might have to like put more points into stamina actually, because right now it's pretty bad in terms of I can't even hold my trinkets. I guess I could always just use lesser armor because right now I have decent enough armor, but nothing crazy. This. Damn you. There we go. Alright, that should be enough to like at least get it leveled up a little bit, and we'll see if it's even worth leveling up to the next possible point. This. The Thorn spell causes very minor blood loss to self. Gotcha. Oh, I see. So we can have that same pop, because I was about to say it doesn't look like it wasn't actually taking that much HP anyway. So I was like, okay, this could have a future, hopefully. But yeah. I just want to see what our base is. I guess we don't need to because we're starting from the ground zero. And let's back out. Actually, let's see. I was maybe fluff. Let's see. No, I can use it. Okay, good. I was like, oh. Also on a passive, yeah. Unlike this one that has no passive, this one passively builds up even more blood loss. But I don't have any. I don't have any arcane. So. Yeah, Frost Stomp and Magic now. Correct, so it should. Okay, gotcha. So that does count as that. Nice. Also, I want to get that debuff that person sells. I need to go and do something, though. It's like a physical fire flame debuff. Oh, shit. I didn't check what it was considered. It has to be considered a unique, right? I mean, it's dropped by an uncommon person, which usually uniques aren't. Yeah, like the lightning thing is counted as a normal because it's dropped by a normal average person, so it's not like it's a unique weapon being held. Let's see, strength and armament. It is considered, yeah, smithing stone. So yeah, it's not considered unique. Okay, so we should normal smithing stones. Chill. 12 of each. I don't think we have enough things to get that, but we should be able to level up a good bit just to see. That blood loss is only applied to strikes with it. Oh, I see. Okay. This, do this. Bring it up to 12. We don't have any excess things. We need to save enough to level up. I think we have enough to get maybe this one and be done. Yeah, let's not fuck with the other one, because then it kind of messes me up for knowing exactly how much we need to bring it to the next 2 tiers. Alexander's Talisman will boost skill, and there's a crest that reduces skill FP cost. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I've seen both of those. One of them was given to you by, so there's one that's given to you by the pot quest, and then there's the other one that's given to you by the wolf quest, right? I haven't done the wolf quest yet, because people were just saying, go to the store and get it, but then I did, and it wasn't there, and it's because you need to complete the wolf quest in order to get access to that specific thing. So, rough. Okay, so now this is leveled up to a sufficient amount, I think, to where we should be able to see a little bit of it, what it's capable of. Fingers crossed it can do a little bit of damage, just some damage. Also, yeah, we're still a chunky boy, so we might need to take some points and to put it into stamina just until we can get past the heavy load. Although I guess we could take off Frost Stomp, but I do just like having it a little bit there. I guess we could take it off right now. Put on the Blasphemous Sword. So the Blasphemous Sword will get us to heal. We'll put on this, and we'll put on this, and we'll see. Come on, baby, hit damage. I mean, this will, well, we'll see. It's not bad, baby. That's something. But it does also build up blood bleed, but I just want to see how much. Yeah, we heal fully. So we lost no vitality there. Okay. Okay. And because we kill you, also it stuns the shit. Also, it's how much range has this got? It's got good range. I can just sit back here, keep stabbing the shit out of myself, and yeah. What? Okay, I'm also not holding it. Doesn't change. She's better off spamming. Better off spamming it. It also looks like it's almost always gonna hit. So now we heal. Now, let's see if this will work as well. This will be an interesting thing. This. Yes, that's what I meant to do. This. Sorry, this. And then we'll scream a bunch. Then we'll do this. Then we'll switch. Nope, this. Okay, now this. Hopefully the range is this good. Alright, good bit of damage increase. Alright. Yeah, it's got hella range. It's got stupid range. I can't believe this. Also, they're clueless. So I could be fighting the boss from this range. Okay. I don't mind. It's not a bad thing. What staff is he using? I'm using the one we just farmed. It's yeah. But this isn't bad. Also, it plays off of my build. So the Blasphemous Sword, it kind of like works. Like literally within the like weird intrinsic nonsense of the game. I just wish there was more Thorn abilities. I wish there was a charge thing though. Also, we build up such little blood loss. Also, doesn't take up that much FP. Alright, just to be fair, let's okay, ow. Let's do this. Also, we could always just do this. Foosh. But if there's ever an enemy that's resistant to fire, or if I was just having like a really sketchy boss fight and I wanted to back up heavily, and like, because I want to see what's the extent of the range. No way. That's so far away. It's so far away. And we can just keep spamming that and killing them, just stabbing the shit out of ourselves. And when we kill him, inevitably, also it looks like it's hard for them to block. I wonder if it's any way to amplify a little bit more. Also, oh no, I mean, I guess that could be a build. You could technically get enough. Also, I could level this up even more. Let's do that. Let's level it up even more, and then we'll end it. But I also want to see what the other spells I can use is, which this. Well, that's kind of a good spell. We don't want to get rid of that. But where is this better now? Because we tried this at the beginning. It was not worth at all. Let's see. Is it better now? But also, it takes such a long time to cast. I guess you could just keep spamming it like that, and that's kind of not bad. And again, we heal because every time we get a kill, we heal enough. I wonder if I held it down, if that will do it, if it's me spamming it that's doing it. No, it's me spamming it that's causing it to detonate a bunch of times. That one's not so good. Just takes too long to fire. But yeah, no, the one that range is not bad. I wish it was more Thorn, like things. Unfortunately, there isn't. Let's take that one off. Let's put the one that's actually worth a damn. Where is it? This. Okay. What should we do? What I want to level this thing up. So let's not use. Actually, we could just hold it. I guess it doesn't matter. Also, we could do this. I guess, and go to this. What's good, Younger? Younger says, is there an item that increases damage when you bleed? Ooh, maybe. Yeah, that'd be cool. But I was thinking there is a spell that's pretty good. A spell that increases your, what is it called? It's what is it? Sorry, yeah. There's a spell that like Fluff is mentioning, but when you stand in this AOE, you do a significantly higher amount of damage, which seems pretty great. But you need enough intelligence to actually cast it, and I wonder if it's enough intelligence to be like, oh, I gotta respec my whole thing, which I imagine it is. Probably it's like, I would say 20. If it's less, then okay. And if it the spell itself doesn't cost that much, I could use the same face scaling staff that builds bleed. But wait, could you use like glintstone pebble? Because it says the staff has blood buildup built into it. Yeah, so it says it has boosts thorn sorceries and also causes blood buildup. So if I got like glintstone pebble and I was just hitting an enemy, would glintstone pebble detonate a bleed? Blood loss is ideal for large health pool foes, based bosses specifically. Faceless says you can buy an FP reduction from the Grand Smith. Yeah, no, Faceless, you can't though. You can't buy that FP reduction. You have to do the Wolf Guy's quest first, and then it becomes there, which most people just did. Unfortunately, I didn't. The Gladiator's Colossal Sword from the Sorcery's Ice Lightning Spear. I could have created a neat Frost Paladin of sorts. Ooh. I'm pretty sure blood loss is a set percentage. Only thing you can do is increase the buildup. There is a relic increases attack when rot or bleed in area. Ooh. Blood loss is ideal for large health pool foes. Blood loss, bosses specifically, not how it works. The slight blood loss buildup is purely for when you use heavy attacks and strikes with the strap. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's you have to actually hit enemies with a staff. That's dumb. It's dumb as hell. Anyways, annoying. Let's level up the weapon. I think we probably need 80. How much do I have right now? Let's see. Oh, we have plenty. Yeah, this thing has such heavy range. I will say though, the boss was quite annoying. If I didn't have a Wolfhound step, I don't think I would be able to kill him. Also, if an enemy blocks, it doesn't seem to really do much. Yeah. So like again, this is where like the kind of power thing seems a little fucky. Also, ow. But like just the fact that, oh no, why do we do that? Just the fact that like an enemy could be blocking, it doesn't matter because it's still gonna hit. I guess it does have a meaty amount of FP, but still, with its range, I feel like it's kind of pretty damn good. Also, I think you can hit multiple times, which is nutty. Those talismans are weird. What it actually does is when you're affected by blood loss, rot, or poison, you do more damage. Weird. I guess that sounds like a text problem. That sounds like it says the wrong thing, even though it's doing something different, you know? Oh. Fluff says possibly also works if you're point blank against an enemy and are suffering from another effect. Oh, I see. So if you actually somehow cast a spell and you hit an enemy point blank, and you technically hit them with the staff as well. Odd. Also, we just need the last two to level up the other weapon. But anyways, yeah, if we can go to 500 damage per cast and has that level of range, yeah, that's kind of crazy. But also, if it's for bosses, it's kind of nuked a little bit because we're what is it? Let's go to 12. 12. Do we have enough? We do. 12. Yeah, it's kind of nuked a little bit for bosses because you need to kill something in order to replenish your health. Although if you have a lot of health, it seems like it's fine. I thought it would take off a percentage of your health. It doesn't seem like it does. It seems like it takes a flat amount, which is why it's taking such a little amount because I have somewhat a good bit of health. Strength and armament. Level up, level up, level up. Oh, wait. Is that... No, it's level 7. Level up. Yeah, we don't want to burn our 1 level 7 enhancement. There. Okay, good. Leave it be. Leave it be. Also, that's the thing that sucks. What if you're a person who like put a what do you call it? You crowned a weapon essentially, and it was the axe for Frost Hork Stomp or whatever, and you're like, great, it's pointless. Let's go to this. So now let's back up because this is a sniper-like playstyle, and stab it in myself. Yeah, about 500. That's 1,000 per cast. Although I guess these people have a little bit over 1,000 damage. Yeah, no, that's not bad, especially when they like don't know where it came from. Like a lot of times they seem confused about what's happening to them. I think it sucks that you can't hold it down. I would have loved to hold it down and like wreck, like do a significant hit, a significantly more powerful hit, I guess. But no, the fact that this has this much range, the enemy's so far away, dude. So far away. I have no FP. We're gonna use this. Again, it's still not as good for like bossing. I think if you're gonna just whip this out and just go, excuse me. So much damage. Also, it does even more damage than to bosses because it hits multiple times. I think these enemies are so thin that it doesn't actually account for hitting twice. And then other times it also chucks them back like really, really far. As you can cuss this enemies. Also, we're out of FP. So like I said, this build I don't think is that bad. It's my magic build that I think we're in a rough go of it. But also, it's crazy because like this build, like I think the level of your weapon is what really makes Frost Stomp hit even remotely hard. Because you guys can see that like with Frost Stomp we were doing not very good damage. I'll show you again just because I want to switch over and see. That's a fun thing to do though, because I was always hoping to have another weapon. But if we go Frost Stomp again, just because we're gonna go check out my mage. So Frost Stomp, by the way, just to give you guys some clarity, is it's scaling the most off of intelligence, in which I have none. I have 13. So you'd think that it wouldn't scale that much at all, especially on this character, but it still scales enough to where it's actually doing still something. We're able to get to 1,000 within like a couple stomps, and also we're hitting in such a massive area, so it's not that bad. But if we go here. Again, the only thing you really feel when it comes to Frost Stomp being weird is the cast time. It feels just more clunky. But let's go to our mage character, and you'll see why I'm like, oh, well, this is the whole thing. Oh. But also, I was trying to find some cool magic spells, and I haven't really found many. I was trying to find ones that like looked like they had quite the punch, and I couldn't find them. Yeah, a little unlucky. So, yeah, Frost Stomp is... So also, by the way, this was the flail that I was talking about. So, like, we have the katana, which gives you 45, like, build-up. But when you put a Frost Stomp on it, it drops to, like... What is it, like 30 or something? No, less. Significantly less than that. But, anyways, this one, it lets you keep... Yeah, like, so it lets you keep 45 blood loss build-up. And I think it even gives you more cryo. Whereas beforehand, I think the other one has less cryo, whereas this one's able to keep more of it. But anyways, yeah, but this one, we think that it would do the same damage or like better because it's scaling so much better off of intelligence. But no, again, I think the Frost Stomp gains a lot of its power from just leveling up your weapon a ton, like with max shard investment. Again, it's still not like it still stagger locks a shit ton of enemies, so I think it's still good. But I don't think it'll nerf nuke bosses as much as it was doing, Also, yeah, you'll need a little bit more FP because you're not getting as much FP out of the damage you deal. But also, I bought the... Oh, God. Oh, shit. I bought the cool, like, glintstone things. These ones are okay, but, yeah, I don't know. They seem a little soulless. Also, they said, like, sorceries got better. I don't know if they have. This one, I also have, and it's kind of cool. Stop it. Aim at the right person. I mean, like, we're doing 500 damage, and mind you, I think I have, like, 60 intelligence with this. So I'm getting a good bit of intelligence. I don't have as many amulets to make myself, like, actually hit hard, but yeah, when you have, like, 60 points into intelligence, you'd hope to see a significant pivot in your damage. But yeah, I have 60 intelligence and, like, 20 faith, and I'm trying to get a little more vigor. Fluff says, including Frost, Dragon Bread. Let me catch up on chat. Fluff says, possible also works if you point blank hit an enemy, right? Just so you So I just picked up a golden order seal, so I can now boost any of the few incantations. I'll be trying to use order and all except frost enhancements. Okay, including frost, dragon breath, and iced lightning spear. Ooh. Phasla says use fire, scorpion, and sword relic to buff attacks when full HP. Yeah, no, that's the meta I've seen too with the blasphemous sword meta. Is that the spell that takes 16 faith and intelligence, Fluff? There's a sacred seal that scales equal off of intelligence and faith. Yeah, I think that's the one I was holding. It's like a T, like a cross, I think. Phasla says, what does that need? Glint blade wasn't touched in the patch. The great sword was, however. What's the great sword, Fluff? Is the great sword a weapon that you can get easily, or is it still a kind of a far off thing? Is that the sword that you get from the like the first person? Like there's like a book on top of a mountain. Fluff says Grinn's using the elder tree. Oh, I see. That was what I was doing. Gotcha. Topic says, gotta watch basketball, but I was here. Thank you, Topic. I appreciate it, buddy. That's what you're using now. Oh, what am I using now? Oh, I am using the one that gives me thing. Okay, so this big one I was buffed. This thing. So that was buffed. The thing I'm using right now, the great sword. And also, can you? Okay, I just wanted to hit you once, sir. Please stop it. I think so. This was, or maybe it's the greatsword phalanx. Okay. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of ones. There's like a greatsword cryo version, like versions of this giant ass sword that's what is it called? It's like a cryo version and stuff like that. I'll check the listing and catch you. But yeah, like meteors is good, but it takes a long time to cast. Feels like just kind of gross to use, but it hits hard. So I think that. Yeah, I feel like that will be, because I think you could do meteors from like a very far distance away. And it seems like they always hit. So I don't think you can charge it. Yeah, it seems like it has endless range. Can we charge it? Does that do more damage? No. Also, it doesn't take up the most, and I think there's like stuff that reduces spell FP cost, if that's what you're trying to do, shape yourself for, I guess. But I guess this is the thing that I'm going to have to do, which is a little bit annoying. I think I'll do this. I don't know. We'll see. I think you guys will have to play it by ear with me for this. But I would like, in an ideal world, I would like to grind up a brand new save. Another one, I know. Or maybe even just take the save that I had that's like 2 hours of us playing. It's the first time we ever jumped into Elden Ring. Take that save, go get the Gravity's 2 swords, level up a little bit here, which is going to suck. It's just inefficient compared to the other one. And then go try to kill Godric that way. And that'll be like the key to power. But also, I think I might need to get a special kind of summon that gives us quite a lot more resistance to fight both of those people, because we need something that can stay in the fight a lot longer. But yes, that's the idea. Whether we're able to actually make it hippity happen, I can only hope. But yeah. That's the thing, I guess, to do, and then we'll just continue the mage saga. I guess we'll run around and try to find other spells. Probably try to make our way into this region on Friday if I can level up a whole new save to the sufficient point in which I think it would be reasonable to assume that other people could do the same, and then go fight Galdric and etc. with just the meteor storm. But yes. Fluff says, that's what you're using now. I think so. Maybe I'll check again. Yeah, that was buffed. Just the FP cost has been reduced. Oh, I see. The great blade phalanx as well. Okay, I see. So that was what I was using, I think. No, actually, I was using something great sword. Start with the C, I think. Fluff says, rock sling does physical stance break damage, so it's really handy. Gotcha. Can throw gravity rocks at dragon heads and stun them. Ooh, nice. Yeah, no, I seen that first video when they first came out. I think it was you who sent it in the Discord. The gravity spell that was buffed were not rock ones. Gotcha. Yeah. Because right now, like, glintstone pebble still seems to be better than, like, for instance, this that we just got. Or is it this? It takes, like, they're really derpy, and they take forever to fucking form and cast, but they do hit relatively hard, you know? But I don't know if it replaces just this. Like, you're just casting, it's taking such a little amount of FP, and also you like pump out a lot more damage that just immediately happens. Like, see, this is the weird balancing stuff that I still don't understand. Or like, this that takes like a super long time to form and can miss, has a great chance of missing, should to me hit significantly harder than glintstone pebble, you know? And yeah. Magic Glint Blade is fantastic at fooling enemy AI. Ooh. Also, wasn't there another one, Fluffy, you were saying that like there's a thread? Was it the one that it comes with? This? Is this what you were saying about like this nice arc one that does pretty good? Also, you said it didn't cost that much FP. Let's see. Is that one worth a damn as well? Well, if enemy... Okay, well, that's great. It looks like the same... If I can aim, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's better or worse. Like, again, I don't know why you wouldn't just use glintstone. I guess it's good AoE. This is positive. But yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, I would use gravity, I think. Or even just a sword if I wanted to get AoE. Or I would just melee. Ah! Ah! Okay. Okay, great. Great. We need to pick up our souls. I didn't know we had that many. Faisal says, Reyna's Moon is OP too. Yeah, so I know there's spells for magic that like we're gonna get for sure that are just like fun, but I still haven't found the spell that to me hits like sufficiently hard, but doesn't cost a lot of FP. That's like the thing I'm kind of hunting and looking for, which maybe I'm not gonna be able to get, but it's the one I'm hoping to attain. Also, I want to kill this man. I just wanted his souls. So we'll pebble him to death. Where's Pebble? Oh, I replaced it for this. There we go. Let's level up a little bit. I think someone said we needed a little bit more vitality. I think they said like 20. So we'll put some more. We'll try to get to 20 vitality as a mage. There's no staff that boosts frost sorceries, at least not yet. It makes me sad. But Reyna's staff is solid and buffs full moon spells. Faisal says Slicer is pretty good. Stunlock, I think. Fluff says Shard Spiral got FP cost reduction, and it's really good for a single target or multiple in a line. It's called Shard Spiral? Okay. As it pierces for 3 or so ticks of damage. Ooh. Most of the chain, certain blades are really good, but turn you into a, well, spell sword. Yeah. I want to look at that, Fluff. What did you say? It was a Shard Spiral is what it's called. Okay. Let me look. Shard Spiral. Magic. We're looking at that. Where is Shard Spiral? Crystal Release is one. No. Oh, that was the Glintstone Phalanx. Phalanx? However you say it. Or Glint Blade Phalanx is what that was called. Not able to see it. Rock Blast. Shatter Earth, Star, Shower. Yeah, the Star Rain looks like the one that I would like the most. I know it's probably not the best, but it just looks like something that you could stack, essentially. Like, keep making more crazy. Also, there are things that I just want to do. I can't find it. I don't know what it was. Oh. I thought it should be in this. You should be able to see it in the profile, right? Like 3 points of a glintstone star. That's what the one's called. Crystal Torrent. I can't find it. I'll find it later. But yes, also we'll close that. I don't know why that was open. This. Oh no! I redo that. We're not ending. Sorry, I was trying to click the thing. And the thing didn't open. Oh, Fluff found it immediately. Should have had faith in Fluff. This. Okay, perfect. Available after purchasing sorcery from the incantation from the sorceress Selena. After progressing through okay, so we gotta progress through requesting. Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm probably watch a video about that. We may bang through that really quick. Also, it's super cheap. 14. Fire 2 twisting projectiles. Hopefully they do sufficient damage. Also, we only need intelligence. Awesome. But does not cost a great deal. Awesome. Ooh, does cost a little bit of sorcery. Or, sorry, fucking stamina. But yeah. Let me pull up my chat again. Very cool. So we might try to work towards getting that. But again, the main thing that I'm trying to find is, like, a spell that you can get that like makes the boss fights significantly more manageable, at least to the point in which you can kill Godric, so that you can just force your level up a ton. So that people who are like, I lost to a boss 6 times, them not just being like, well, fuck, you need to learn how to perfectly iframe dodge through a boss. Instead being like, no, I just could just level up more and get myself some more burst damage and make sure I'm smarter about where I'm positioning myself, like running backwards, making sure aggro gets attained by my summons. And then going through the fight like that, you know. Although for me, I want to do that, and then I want to start progressing with things that I would like to have. So again, eventually we're gonna change the series of this character save file from like the strongest mage start and pivot it to like what I would want to build, which is I want to build like a summoner essentially. So there's like when you kill one of the boat people, they drop you a. What is it called? It's like this crazy, like, big skeletons that summon and slash. I don't think it's very good. I think it's probably shit, but it'd be something that I would like to use and also just see if I can MacGyver myself around using. Also, there's a flail that you can get that summons forth a bunch of skeletons and stuff like that. Also, there's, like, astral rain. So if I could just do that, if I have, like, just build a fuck ton of FP, cast my my skeletons, and well, although I guess they go away. It's only like a quick instance of damage where these things summon and they smash things and they leave. Or if I could just summon a bunch of skulls that come and heat seek enemies, that's the funness of the future of this whole thing. But yeah. Also, what's good? Lone Ticket says, I have defeated Lord Dragonlord. Sorry, also I knew you'd been here the whole time. I was just like, oh, you're saying something again. I would love to hear a voice, Lone Ticket. Lone Ticket says, I have defeated Dragonlord. Ooh, nice. Fluff says, the Star Shower, Founding Rain of Storms, and the Rain all received buffs. Lattermost is in a single memory slot. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of those because let's see. Well, again, just because they got buffed does not mean they got significantly buffed to the point in which it's like, ooh, this is hella worth investing crazily in, but maybe, hopefully, you can hope. You can hope. Fluff says, and it's quite fun to use. You get it from Losetta. Sorry, Losetta. Fluff says, in case you missed it, Wonderland's PC launch should be around 5 p.m. I know. I think I heard it, Fluff. Well, yeah, I see. I'm super excited. Wait, did it change? 5 p.m. Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. It'll be the same thing. So yeah, next Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be probably playing Wonderlands. I don't know. So the thing with that is I really wanted to like fully send it, but I don't know because it starts at 5 p.m. I guess I could work out ahead of time, maybe. Or maybe I could just take Thursday off and then work out Friday and Saturday and then be done. We might do that instead. Because yeah, I wanted to like go for longer because I would like to actually make good ground. But also I think it is smart to like back up and like look at the Reddits and the communities and to see if there's any sort of like weapon that people could get early on that would help them and make videos of that quickly, Fluff says, most of the buffs were FP cost reductions. Only about 3 got buffed, damage buffed, and another 3 got FP and damage buffs. Ooh, okay. What are those 3 that got the FP, the damage buffs, Fluff? Let's see what it says. Also, I can confirm Bleed and Arcane is broken now. And in combination with Frost Stomp, it shreds the boss's health bar. Really? What do you mean? So what do you mean? Like, so is the ideal? Hey, Lone Syndicate, don't do this to me. What do you mean? What do you mean? Because I haven't really been interested in respecking my character, but if you're telling me if I invest a shit ton into Arcane, if I can get my Frost Stomp damage kind of back, but more or less just benefiting off of Frost Stomp activating the bleed proc, and I could also have some fun with some Arcane abilities like the one we were just having just then, make that even better. Have enough faith to kind of get by and get some healing, maybe some buffs. Huh. Maybe. We'll see. Because, yeah, faith, I'm heavily investing in faith. And it doesn't really show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the faith damage doesn't really proc. Unless you're using the greatsword, like the greatsword that we were using. Yes, it does help quite a lot. But yeah. If I can invest in Arcane, get, like, a cool, you know, weapon that does bleed damage, then maybe that could be worth investing, you know? You know? Flo says, I wouldn't say it's broken, it just works as it should have. If you keep saying something new is broken, we'll see it get nerfed shortly after. Glintstone, Comet Shard, Comet, and Night Comet all received FP cost reduction. And well, let me Google it. I'm going to take a picture of that too. Because those ones, if some of them are easy to get, I hope there's a chance. There's a chance that they basically tooled them or adjusted them too much. And there's a chance, just a chance, that they could be excessive, but probably not. I think Fluff's best bet is the two hitting pebble, which as long as it does something above like 2,000 damage or 1,500 damage, that's something that, especially if you're at a range, should be enough to deal one hell of a bit of damage to be okay, you know. Fluff says, I posted as snapshot I took at Elden Ring channel the list all of the sorcery buffs. Ooh, nice. Oh, in the thing. Oh, so I need it. Nice. Perfect. Okay, so now Lone Syndicate got me curious about the thing. Lone Syndicate says, I mean, if you have a mimic build, Frost or Bleed, and you build the opposite, you can just get rid of a chunk quickly. You won't nuke a boss, but it gives yourself an easier time. Okay. I still don't know if I still don't know if I've heard that a lot, where people say that like the Bleed proc, or sorry, the Frost Stomp can detonate a Bleed proc. I don't know if that's possible actually. Or maybe it's just such a little percentage of damage that it's not, or maybe you're not building up enough bleed proc. So if you were to invest in Arcane, and you were to put your bleed or Frost Stomp on a bleed proc, then maybe it would actually detonate quickly, because Frost Stomp does hit twice. So you think it would detonate twice with bleed, but maybe that's not a thing. Maybe it's your Frost Stomp only detonates your cryo, and then you just have, I guess, a bleed on your weapon. If you wanted to use a little bit of bleed, you could, I guess. I don't know. But if you invest in Arcane, that would increase the blood buildup proc, and yeah, I can see that being pretty damn good. But yes, Fluff says Frostbite weakens enemies by about 20% of all damage received. Blood lost is set percentage of damage, so it just chunks bosses' damage a lot, but Frostbite does not increase blood loss itself. Gotcha. So it just increases the damage received, not necessarily increasing blood loss build. Gotcha. Yeah, I just don't know if the one thing is that if you have a weapon that has Frostbite and blood loss buildup, it applies to all melee strikes, not Ashes of War. Okay, so it only applies to like the flails, the frost. Oh, so okay, so it doesn't. It only applies to whenever I melee hit something. So I'll build up frost this way. I mean, I don't really see the blood loss build up, but maybe it's because we have such a little amount of blood loss build up. Yeah, I see that we're doing the thing, but I don't know if we're actually detonating the bleed. Oh, pain. Huh. Oh! So basically my this does not build up bleed up. Yeah, so we're only just doing the cryo detonate. So that's what people were meaning, what Fluff said. So like it, oh come on, why did mine not hit? But Fluff was saying that the blood loss buildup is attached to the melee contact. So I guess you're building up, you're basically increasing your blood loss buildup melee damage because you're weakening them with cryo, because you do hit with cryo. You detonate your cryo, then you detonate your blood loss buildup, and then you hit more damage with that way. Okay. Yeah, the burst of frost was from frostbite, but blood loss wasn't proccing because you killed those enemies. Yeah, I have witnessed inflicting both with my Knight Rider flail. However, okay, but it's not on your stomp. That's the only thing I'm curious about. Is if there, basically I'm wondering if there's any way to reclaim some of the power, even if it's earned, like how to take frost stomp and make it actually hit even harder by another means, besides just, you know, having to stand it in a specific AoE, you know? Fluff says frost, Fluff says sadly you kill its enemies, do fast buck, and you'll need a lot of intelligence and arcane to boost up frostbite and blood loss respectively. It's not on the stump. Gotcha. So that's what people were saying. People were saying that the one thing. Gotcha. Only way via incantations or melee damage buff or magic damage buffs. Yeah. Because that's what the damage type it is. Yeah. Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sad that Frost Stomp meta is gone, especially when there's other ways to deal a fuck tons of damage. Still. But all I'm hoping for, man, is I'm hoping that they buff up incantations, because I think they're in a horrible spot. A lot of the spells that people use are one of the first you get. Again, it has the same problem as people were criticizing Frost Stomp to have, is the easiest skills to attain are still the undoubtedly best. And they also require a shit ton of FP, so that no one uses them, because they're not much of a reason to, unless you're specifically using a certain like build that maximizes one-shotting bosses. But otherwise, it just doesn't seem like a very good trade. So hopefully they buff that. As far as the blood, I don't know, man. Like, as much as I want to jump on, like, oh, that looks fun to play with blood buildup. I'm in a state where I don't know what the designers are okay with and what they determine to be too much. And that's a shitty thing to be in. Because again, my only thing is that with the new patch, regardless of how everyone else feels, I think you're entirely entitled to how you feel about it. But I can't shake the feeling that, to me, it makes me feel like I don't know what to invest in anymore, because I don't know what is going to be considered to be strong or too strong. So it makes hunting for things significantly less fun, at least for me, because I don't know if what I'm going to spend 2 hours grinding or doing the quest chain to get is going to be nerfed entirely. Or just nerfed in a way that makes all the investment that I put into it an absolute waste of time. So that's where I'm at a little bit. That's my core feelings about it. It's just I hate when you have a game that, in some ways, whether it's Borderlands or whether it's Elden Ring or something like that, where there's ways and there's things that you would hunt for and trade time to attain, and they take away your time investment by forgetting those said things. I know some people don't have a problem with it because they're like, no, I have 6 characters going. I could just go to the other ones. Yeah, that's fine. Or even if you thought maybe that was bad. I think some things should have been nerfed, and again, I think we talked about that immensely at the beginning. But yeah, I don't know. That, to me, I can't shake that feeling of I'm less excited to jump back into the world and hunt for things and take down bosses and further amplify my character, because I don't know whether they're going to deem to be what I determined to amplify to be lesser, or just not something that they've determined to be balanced, and stuff like that. So yeah. I'm pretty sure incantations we buff next, or very well should. I hope so. Fluff. Because to me, that's the kind of weird signal, like that's one of the first things I think Faceless said, which I was like, at least someone had maybe because I sometimes feel like I'm alone in my perception of this, and things like that. But Faceless said, what do you call it? Did like they buffed sorceries, but they didn't buff incantations. And I'm not to say that I'm sure that there were some sorceries that were not working perfectly, but again, like what the meme was, going around that if you play Wizard, you're basically like playing a significantly easier game than other people. Now, of course, people like to always say that other people's experience is significantly easier, but like having played a little bit with the Twin Blade for a hot minute, it was like you're trying to do melee damage and enemy will bunce you and you're like, what the hell? I can't even like get close to you to deal damage without you hitting me. So yeah. But anyways, that's the thing that's a little bit like, what? Like, why is faith spells, incantations not getting buffed? Why are all these other things also not getting buffed? And yeah. Also, I think the speedrunning community, I'll be curious to see what they do. I feel like they're just gonna go the blood build-up meta, just pump arcane like crazy, and then go forth and conquer, that kind of thing. Lone Ticket says, also, I have almost 80 hours in Elden Ring. I also got Genshin to do the event. I like the bar event and interactions with the characters, especially with Baido and Ninwang being on their date. Oh, really? Oh, cool. So they actually come down to the bar as well, or do you go to a different bar? Interesting. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far now. I'm trying to wrap up the one that's the big run around and do the area kind of thing, which is already a whole thing. Faithless says, I hope when DLCs drop, they give us crazy faith spells. Well, that's the thing, Faithless. We already have insane, like, faith things. Like, there's Frenzy, and then there's, like Unending Frenzy, which is supposed to be, like, the end game equivalent, but it's just absolutely worse. Like, without a doubt, shitty. It takes more FP, it does less damage, it's way more chaotic, it builds up more insanity. Like, it's just, what are we doing? Kind of thing. Faceless says, I hope when, did you see that? He tricked, thing is making melee, caster hybrid, you're, taking a hit on your melee performance, for the sake of being able to cast spells. Yeah. But also, I'm like, the build you just seen, Fluff, I had like no points into anything but faith. So my spell still didn't hit, you know? Let's see, it says, in my opinion, some bosses are easier for mages and some are easier for melee. When you have those bosses that depend on your melee. Okay. Have you played a mage, Lone Syndicate? Like a full tilt mage? You said you have 80 hours, so maybe you actually have. But yeah. I don't know. All I know is that I feel like it would just be a matter of letting your summon take aggro. But also, I'm kind of... Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you're probably right. We're going to be playing melee for a good bit, actually. So we'll see. And we kind of found something cool to... Oh, we got to stop by. It's 7. Well, we found that cool blood loss staff, which to me makes me wonder if there's like a faith blood loss kind of build. But then again, is it worth it? Like, you need a lot of health, you need a lot of mana. But also, the spells seem so shit. But you need a lot of spell stuff just to use your blasphemous blade, so... I don't know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. I'm not sure we'll be streaming tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to prepare to the extent in which I need to in order to like know, because again, I want to make the same video we had kind of last time where we were just going through the strongest mage start. I would like to patch that video so that it kind of is now still good, where you can basically do what I said you could do, albeit it just requires a little bit of different of a give. But then I need to find out what the next best thing to get is. Maybe I'll punch through the sorceress's lady's quest line. Maybe we'll do that. Who knows? But yeah. Everyone's saying goodbye. Thank you so much. Stop by, everybody. Faceless says, I see more people use lightning spears, faith, and rot dragon head, etc. than the basic 3 or 4. What do you mean? The lightning spears? I've seen that in like specific faith builds where you fully pump faith and kind of can only do this specific one. Like, you can kill things in bossing, but you struggle greatly on fighting anything else, which I feel like is a disservice to what the build actually should be used for. You want something that hopefully does both. Speaking of someone that provided from melee fully tilt mage with a bit of melee, some bosses definitely are easier with mage. Others not so much. Yeah, I could see there being like there was that one enemy that the assassin that we fought. I could see him being hella aggro and being really hard. Although you could cast a summon, and as long as you have a summon that can't die, we'll see. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that we'll get a shit sandwich eventually with this. Yes, I dabbled a bit in sorcery as well as melee. Both have pros and cons. Fluff says, and whilst the Combat Azure Infinite FP Potion are super effective, assuming they don't move around too much, it's hardly fun. Okay. Yeah, I think fun is subjective, regardless of the power that it can have. So, yes. Lightning Spear is bread and butter faith offensive. Pyromancy used to be pure faith, and now it is. It is, so it's also viable. Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I can only say about based on my experience, based on me having leveled up stuff and found stuff. And yeah, and maybe I need to find the weird electric, like, double spear hit, but I've seen in practice when you're fighting anything but a boss that gives you a huge opening, you just get smashed. And yeah. But yes. Makes fuck off the big laser, makes bosses feel less bossy, bosses mute, yeah. I mean, again, yeah, I don't know. Again, that's kind of also my perspective, just my, like, this is my, like, how do I put it, my, like, jaded perspective a little bit, is when I see people beam down things with a laser beam, drink 2 potions, and then, like, back up a little bit, wait for their thing to get aggro, and then you just get behind them so that they don't jump around too much, and then you just fucking beam them again, and then nuke them, and then people are like, Frost Step! Fucking bullshit! I'm like, I get it, and then people say, oh, it's easy to get, and I'm like, sure, but it doesn't change the fact that there's a way to fucking nuke a boss in 2 seconds. And there's no other route for that to be taken, really, with any other class without heavily adjusting. You don't just get a skill and etc. Also, even if you don't have the unlimited potion thing, you still get a huge chunk of damage. You can just convert all of your potion stuff to potions and get good with it. Again, for the enemies that let you de-aggro, and for the tinier enemies that jump around, like the assassin characters, I can see that being a pain. But yes. But anyways, that's kind of my, like, polarity, where, like, they nerfed my stompy business, which was good. I wish they wouldn't have completely nuked it, because it does look like it's now irrelevant to doing other things. Like, it is irrelevant to other builds that you could have that do similar, use similar Ashes of War, like, for instance, Blasphemous Blade. So unlucky. Unlucky. But ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Elden Ring, us chilling, talking about the Nerf city, everything being chunked. Again, my only takeaway is I think some things should have been nerfed. I hate that the way that they nerfed some things was taking away the synergy and the funness of being able to think with them, and the way that they nerfed some things was just making things more clunky. I don't like things like that. That just seems like things... Like, it's one thing to say something doesn't have enough damage, you can synthetically buff the damage, but when you make something take a longer time to cast, it just makes it feel worse. Kind of like a melee input taking forever to get out there. It feels bad. And then the other thing is just that I feel with them nerfing things, it makes me feel not wanting to invest in anything, because I don't know what they're going to nerf next, and it creates this feeling of unsettledness. Same feeling happened in Borderlands when they started nerfing people's builds. So you're hunting for things, you're working for things, and this is kind of exacerbated in Elden Ring, because it's hard, especially if you didn't just start off having a cheat sheet, if you didn't just start off having a power. Right? I started off having a faith build, where I was using a twin blade, which is not at all synergistic with the way I like to play. But I still got through bosses and killed things, and got mostly, I got to the Faith City, I got really far, and then I started, as soon as I got to the Tower of Giants, which is, at that point, that's when I got the power for the thing. So yeah, I don't know, to me, it just makes me, again, with how much I had to work and earn, and then finally I found this weird thing, I just wish they would have taken Frost Stomp and chucked it at the Tower of the Mountain of Frost. But instead, no, they nerfed it down. So for me, again, I just feel like I don't know what to invest in, because I don't know what is too strong. And if the whole point of this game is something hard, and the whole point of builds, amulets, weapons, etc. is to gain strength, then you're punishing the community for doing exactly that. Then the question becomes, is there reasons for them to nerf it because it was too strong? Yes. But does it still take away from the fact that, well, I don't know, what do they haven't communicated what they find to be too strong? So that's kind of the feeling I have right now. It's the one thing that I don't like feeling. I don't like feeling like I'm questioning my investment, because I really like this game. I want to keep playing it. But the thing that did pull me through the world was the fact that I liked building characters and like attaining weapons and trying to piece things together. And now that is called into question, because I don't know what they're going to do next. And it creates this feeling of like, well, I want to walk away, you know? But again, we'll try to carve our way forward. But again, you can't change the fact, there's no way in hell they're going to readjust the Frost Stomp to be something again. And again, it's not to say the Frost Stomp is unusable. I'm sure you could buff it, but again, the question always becomes, what do you call it? Value is relative to your environment. So if I'm buffing my Frost Stomp, am I not just better off doing the same thing and then using Blasphemous Blade, or using a spell that is significantly better, you know? But I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for putting out with me. And yeah, hopefully you guys are still enjoying the game, and hopefully your build didn't get touched. But for people who are saying that maybe this is like a bigger reaction than what's deserved, I would just like to say, put yourself in a position where you worked to make everything work, you got a thing, and you worked your build around it, and now you have to respec. Maybe it's not broken, maybe it's not even unjust, but at the very least, it's fucking annoying. And at least you can hopefully empathize with people with that. But last, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. That's me. There's a video coming out very shortly. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. It's a goofy, fun meme video. We're going to be taking a step back, probably. Well, actually, no, probably going to make those eventually. But with just so much games coming out, Wonderland, expect those coming along the horizon. But last, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you for giving me a single second of your day. And hopefully you guys go check out the video that I'm about to go publish right this second. Thank you again, and goodbye.